Ringo TV Reactions, back at you again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe.
Yo, nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Yo, nigga about that paper. Yo, nigga about that paper. Yo, nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Yeah. True man, I'm free. I wake up a new episode. I pop out clean as can be up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me. I get it though. Yeah. I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Shawty so swoon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might slide through with that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a thing about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Yo, nigga about that paper. 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 Hop on that jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They pay me to play me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must like do it a top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid. I don't see a thing about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Yo, nigga about that paper. Yo, nigga about that paper. Yo, nigga about that paper. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Big bag, but I fix the sky, no stress. Can't ground me, I know this since when I had less. Yeah, how far we progress. Lord, I don't see a threat.
Well, here we are. I was contacted a few days ago by a brother here in Orlando asking me if I was aware with the situation going on at Straitway. Of course, I have no idea what's going on. I don't pay attention in the slightest to what's happening with that place. I live a pretty blessed life. But it did strike my curiosity. So peered in a little bit, and before this brother could answer back my questions, I did a little bit of my own research, and I came to find out that there's some brothers coming out that I can pretty well relate to a lot of the different testimonies in many kinds of ways. I also have my testimony of this place. It's taken me about 10 years, 9.5, 10 years for me to make this video concerning Pastor Dowell. His little cult he has down there. A long time this guy thought he had me under his control. A little bit different than these other brothers that came there. Most. I think it became known quickly that I wasn't the kind of person to bow down to any man or follow orders quite in the way expected to. I first called the dining hall of Straitway in circa 2009-10, like right at the end of 2009-10. I spoke with Pastor a few times over the course of a year or so. I went to a conference that he had in Tampa, Florida in 2011, where I met Dow, I met J Snip 4, another prevalent YouTuber. We spent the day there. It was about a 4-hour conference. He spoke everything about why you should be collecting gold and silver. It was like a social, economic, and then he got into the biblical part of it a little later on. It was about a 4-hour conference. And afterwards, I rode around with J Snip 4, buying a little bit of silver. After that, we met back up at a Spanish families. It was an established part of, I think, the ministry by then in Tampa. And we all fellowshipped and had a big meal. And the mother of my child that I was with at the time, that was her first encounter with Pastor Dow. Until the next day, we went back to Tampa. He was doing baptisms, and I was baptized. I have video of my baptism in Tampa with him, along with another video that later on happened during Passover in 2012. So that day in Tampa, during the baptism, I'd walked outside to my car to grab something, and he had handed my girlfriend money at that time. It was a few $100s, telling her that I was too proud and I probably wouldn't receive it from him. She had actually walked outside and met me like halfway to the car and handed me the money, and was very thrown off by it, very uncomfortable about it. It was a little peculiar. And he stated he would put us up in a hotel room if we needed and pay for all expenses. It was kind of like luring me in there. So for a few months, you know, I continued to fellowship, and then I went back up for Passover 2012, as I stated, and things really began to be peculiar then. As I showed up to the land, I was already a well-received brother. I was very prevalent in the blog talk radios and the online church services. I used to speak about herbalism, a bunch of different stuff. I was a well-received brother. Immediately hit it off with almost every single other brother there, including Brother Jamie. You know, upon getting on the land, you quickly realize a lot of brothers is whispering about a lot of what Dowell's doing there. How he spends his money, how he has more than everybody, how he kind of maintains the land with stronghold. There's a lot of stuff you're really not supposed to talk about while you're there, or mention or bring up. And yeah, that's not me. So I do remember a small talk with Jamie, this brother Steve, a couple of the brothers in this land, about a lot of different things that were kind of odd that happened there. How there's his own grave plot there right next to his house, where if members of the community died, whether they were older or younger, this is where people were being buried. That was a little weird right off the bat. Meeting down at the dining hall, pretty much everybody acted like they knew me already, like they had been waiting for me to get there. So I stayed on the land for a little over a month, doing everything from yard work to just small building projects. There was a big quadplex being built at the time that all the brothers were working on, Jamie included. And you know, during like breakfast at the dining hall, which everybody had to be on time by 8 o'clock at the dining hall for breakfast, or you were getting an odd look. You might even get talked to if you're late. I did before. Dow became very aggressive during breakfast, usually regularly. We'd be sitting there eating. All of a sudden, you'd hear the pastor say, "Bless you, saints." Everybody would say, "Bless you, pastor." And usually he would stand up, or he would lean back in his chair, usually stand up, and begin to grind on the brethren, on whoever was visiting there at the time. If your kids was causing problems and there was a trash being left around, he would address that pretty well. And other things going on in the land as well, kind of insinuating that there was more going on than really was. He liked to make people feel guilty, to an extent where one morning he was up speaking and was getting progressively more heated about what he was speaking about, and he slammed his both hands down on the table in front of this pregnant sister. And I mean, he was yelling. Everybody had already sat back from their food and, was diligently listening to what this man had to say, kind of all feeling guilty. We was all sitting there looking like, okay, he's talking about us. That's how it felt like. And when he did that, a lot of the brothers were pretty taken back. I don't believe there was a few brothers that didn't even come back after that, because we were ready to stand up. But you got to understand, most of the men that frequent this place are very involved in this place. They all carry weapons. Ain't nobody standing up and making no problems there. When I stayed there, I stayed in the trailer. A few other brothers started to show up. After I got there pretty early before Passover in 2012. So I was in the trailer by myself for a while, chopping my own wood, heating up the wood stove to keep myself warm at nighttime, because it got cold. And they provided me with a bucket that they told me that if I woke up in the middle of the night, I need to go number one or go number two. You could go in the bucket. In the morning, you're supposed to take the bucket outside and go dump it out somewhere. So, no big deal. I understand you're all out here homesteading, and that's just one of the things you got to do, right? I'm being invited into Pastor's house one night before Blog Talk. I had dinner with him and his wife, pre-Blog Talk, and I got a pretty good look at his book collection, which I was super interested at the time. I myself am a big collector of books, and got some pretty interesting stuff in there. One book that always stood out to me that I tried to find later on was called Gods of the Jews, or Jewish Gods. Pretty in-depth book about the demonology and spell casting that they were into. And Dowell always tried to put a lot of the books that I'd find that he has off of, brothers give them to me over the years, things that he came across, offerings from brothers and stuff like that.
All right, y'all listening to this? Welcome to everybody that coming in on the show. P.Diddy Dowell have spell books, books about witchcraft, various other things that he indulged in. And it's very telling of what's being done at Straitway Cult. This is an inside testimony, not me just making stuff up. This is somebody that had boots on the ground. They were at the cult site. They saw the book collection. Diddy Dowell have in his collection spell books. Now, why would a man of Yah, a man of the cloth, a pastor, have to do with spell books? To everyone, we're streaming on 2 platforms at the same time. The Ringo TV Raw channel over here, Ringo TV Reactions channel. You can see the footage of what we're looking at on the Ringo TV Reactions channel in case you are on the Ringo TV Raw channel, right? So we're going to continue to let it play. I'm going to only interrupt if need be. I want to make sure he get his words out, and then we're going to review everything and break everything down. But this is very, very satanic. I want everybody to pay attention to what he's talking about regarding these books. Dowell is basically saying that, other brothers gave me these books, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of have them. But I'm trying to figure this out. Why would a man of God have books dealing with witchcraft and spells in his book collection? And why would someone give you that? What is the purpose of you keeping that in your company? I mean, the Bible says to avoid the very appearance of evil. So why would you want to have such material laying around that can cause a brother to stumble in their faith if they see you with these things? That's like if I have a bunch of spell books around the studio, somebody invited for a podcast, and they see these books, I'm done. There's no way to explain that. Do you understand? How do I get myself out of that situation? So what we're listening to is testimony from an insider that was there, boots on the ground, a witness that saw these things. So the question now is, how many people are under these spells right now? Because P. Diddy Dowell, I gave him time to kind of recoup, to make himself feel like it's okay, it's safe to come back online and talk and teach. I gave him opportunity to do those things so that he can dig himself in a deeper ditch. This is why I'm here now. Because, again, I'm playing chess, not checkers. And just when P. Diddy Dowell believed that the smoke is clear and is able and safe to come outside, not anymore. You got some explaining to do. So, let's rewind back the tapes. Let's find out what's going on, because this is very, very telling information.
At the time, I myself am a big collector of books, and got some pretty interesting stuff in there. One book that always stood out to me that I tried to find later on was called Gods of the Jews, or Jewish Gods. Pretty in-depth book about the demonology and spell casting that they were into. And Dowell always tried to put a lot of the books that I'd find that he has off of, like, brothers give them to me over the years.
I gotta interrupt again, because he has a book showing how other groups of people were casting spells and doing various other things. This is what these cults do, ladies and gentlemen. They cast spells. And that is what keeps you occupied with their teachings, their lessons, and keep you dumbed down and docile. This is why when you study the cult of Straitway and you understand it's being funded by men that are working 9-to-5 jobs, these men are bringing their paychecks to P. Diddy Dowell. P. Diddy Dowell is not working a 9-to-5. Oh, no. Other men are working those 9-to-5s. They're bringing their money. And they're using their money after being manipulated with Bible scriptures in terms of all of the people sold their houses and lands and brought their money at the apostles' feet, all of that other mess. Listen, people, that's not for you today. You guys have to learn how to read to understand. A lot of the stuff you read from the Bible is just an account of what happened. It is not an account of what you supposed to be doing today. There's certain things we're supposed to do today, and then there's certain things that happen, and that's just what happened in that time. Why would people sell land and houses only to bring whatever to the apostles? And yet you're telling me that in today's day, 2024, you're selling what? Land? You're not selling land. Why would you be selling land if you're trying to occupy Straitway? And why would you want to sell a house to do what? That doesn't even make any sense. Where in the Bible did it tell you in today's day, all of you need to practice what those folks did at that time? Where is that? It's not in the scriptures. But see, this is what happens when you're manipulated. This is what happens when you don't know how to read. This is what happens when you depend on a man to lead you. He always lead you astray. Because when you think about land, nobody at Straitway, in terms of the people that occupy the land, none of them own anything. So when P. Diddy Dowell says, hey, the people are not paying any rent, they're not paying any mortgage, they're just living debt-free, that's a lie. Because they're giving their paycheck. Because when you think about the scriptures, it didn't say they were continually given and given and given and given and given. No. It said they sold what they sold and brought it to the apostles' feet. One-time event. It wasn't a consistent, ongoing affair. So if you're working at a 9-to-5 and you're bringing your paycheck to a man, to a pastor, you're under strong delusion. And you're being deceived. You're being deceived. And this is why P. Diddy Dowell is able to build his mega mansion while this brother that's on the screen, he was told, here, take a bucket and use that to piss in and take a poop in. But yet P. Diddy Dowell is building a mega mansion with all of the money. P. Diddy Dowell just came back from vacationing. How come the people at Straitway ain't going on vacations? It's just like the pastors in the Christian church. The pastor lived the best life, drives the best cars, and live in the best houses. And that's just the way it goes in Christianity. Straitway cult is really a Christian cult. At the end of the day, R.G. Stair is P. Diddy Dowell's original pastor and mentor. That is who he learned from. The very same guy that was accused for various crimes done against women, young women too, seen in videos doing unthinkable things, saying unthinkable things. That is the man in whom P. Diddy Dowell learned community from. But he's masquerading himself on social media as some sort of man of Yah. But yet this is the very same man that is in adultery right now. He took another man's wife, which violates scripture. The man is still alive. He forced her to go get a divorce based on the world system. Took her in as his wife, laid with her in his bed. Took the man's daughter and sold her to another man for a whole lot of money. What a shame. And this is the very same man that had the nerve to speak against brothers that are focusing on community, trying to inspire the people. And he looked down on the brothers and basically tried to mock them for their lack of knowledge, to puff up himself and his ego, to distract you folks from the real atrocities being done by this cult. And that is taking young ladies and selling them off to men, which is really sex trafficking, if you ask me. Because if men are getting paid $100,000, $100K for young virgins, I mean, are these guys paying taxes? Like, who's authorizing this? And where all these young virgins are coming from? And how are they on that land? And where are their daddies? Where are they? But see, nobody don't want to talk about that. P. Diddy Dowell practiced adultery. Unrepentant man. He have not repented yet. If you're new to the channel, I made many video streams about this case. All you got to do is view the data. So what he's doing right now is he's playing move the goalposts, distracting you with petty little things. Like, oh, Ringo and New Breed is this and all this other petty stuff. None of that stuff makes sense. How come he's not addressing his adultery? How come he's not addressing the proof, the witnesses? All I'm bringing forth is receipts. I'm bringing forth real witnesses, live people that are giving their testimony. This man has a grave site next to his house where people are being buried. That's right. What kind of rituals is going on with these burials? What kind of thing? What in the world is going on at Straitway at night in the bushes with all of these spell books that he have in his library? No wonder they're always having deliverance services. They're not casting out devils. They're giving people devils. Let's get back to the tapes. Let's roll it back. Let's go.
Go number 2, you could go in the bucket. In the morning, you're supposed to take the bucket outside and go dump it out somewhere.
Wow. So,
no big deal. I understand you're all out here homesteading, and that's just one of the things you got to do, right? I'm being invited into Pastor's house one night before Blog Talk. I had dinner with him and his wife, pre-Blog Talk. And I got a pretty good look at his book collection, which I was super interested at the time. I myself am a big collector of books, and he had some pretty interesting stuff in there. One book that always stood out to me that I tried to find later on was called Gods of the Jews, or Jewish Gods. Pretty in-depth book about the demonology and spell casting that they were into. And Dowell always tried to put a lot of the books that I'd find that he has off of, like, brothers give them to me over the years, things that he came across, offerings from brothers and stuff like that. But he had lots of books on spell casting, spiritual warfare, the occult, demonology. I mean, you name it. His collection was juicy. Some of these books I could never find later on myself because they did pique my interest.
Are y'all listening to this? P.Diddy Dowell have a collection of books on demonology, casting spells, witchcraft, you name it. The man said that his book collection is juicy, which means he have multiple books covering all sorts of subject matter regarding casting spells on people, controlling their congregation, controlling the minds of the people, all sorts of stuff. And these spells are really what's being used today on the population at hand. This is why it's so easy to control the multitude of people in this country, because what happens is they're using spells. They're using them through the news media, through the music, through various hertz and frequencies. And this is what they're using to keep your mind dumbed down. This is how churches are able to thrive. This is why people worship their pastor as their God. To the point that if you criticize their pastor, they attack you. Because to them, their pastor is God. You can't speak against their pastor. Their pastor could do no wrong. You can see the mind control when you go to these platforms with P.Diddy Dowell and just look at the live chat and just look at the people, the way they respond. They worship in him. All praises, shepherd, worshiping him. Do you understand? This is what they do. They're not praising the Most High. They're praising a man. Why? Because they're under a spell. Let's break it down. Let's get back to it. Let's go.
Interesting stuff in there. One book that always stood out to me that I tried to find later on was called Gods of the Jews, or Jewish Gods. Pretty in-depth book about the demonology and spell casting that they were into. And Dowell always tried to put a lot of the books that I'd find that he has off of, like, brothers give them to me over the years, things that he came across, offerings from brothers and stuff like that. But he had lots of books on spell casting, spiritual warfare, the occult, demonology. I mean, you name it. His collection was juicy. Some of these books I could never find later on myself because they did pique my interest. I was quite the spiritual warrior at the time, if you will. So during that course of time, basically the brethren and pastor had convinced me that me and my wife, at the time, girlfriend, we were never officially married. We did have a child together and a long history in life together. And these brethren and the pastor had basically convinced me that I was unequally yoked, that she was no good for me or my daughter, that they were convincing me basically to get away from her at all costs.
You know why they were convincing him to get away with her? So that they can take her. This is what P. Diddy Dowell is known for, taking other men's wives. This is what the men of Straitway are known for, taking other men's wives. Now, of course, he said that they were not officially married, but yes, they were. Because if you lay with a woman and you have children with her, that's your wife. In the eyes of the Most High, that's your wife. You know what I mean? A lot of us just don't understand that principle, but it's a fact. You understand? But think about the manipulation. They literally was trying to talk him away from that woman. Why? Because they wanted her. This is what they do. You have to understand, Straitway is in the middle of nowhere. So there's no women around. It ain't like these guys can date. It ain't like these guys can go holler at some woman down the street. They're literally in the middle of nowhere. In order for you to get into civilization, you have to drive out miles and miles and miles before you even get around anyone. So it ain't like they could just go out and jog and see a woman and be like, hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. I would like to make you my wife. That's not going to happen. So what they rely on is men bringing their wives and their daughters to Straitway. And then they take these wives from these men and sell off their daughters to other men. That's what they do. Their hope is that you come to Straitway and then they'll ruin your relationship. So if you're a man and you bring your wife there, they will convince your wife that you're no good and force her to divorce you, and then they'll get with your woman. That's how cults operate. This is what we've been trying to teach in all of the videos, but people are not paying attention because they're still under strong delusion. You have to understand, people, when you're under the spells of witchcraft, you're under very deep delusional activity. It's like your mind, you can't hear. So no matter how much people preach and give you this truth, you will continue to defend these wolves in sheep's clothing. This is why it's so difficult to preach to Christians to come out of Christianity and wake up. They're stuck. Reprobate mind, under strong delusion. Even the Bible says the very elect is going to be in trouble. Why? Because of these wolves in sheep's clothing. They're using demonic spells, different types of rituals to control the people. It's all about control. At the end of the day, it's all about control. Every pastor, every church want to control the people. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want you to think you're dumb, you're a child, you're unable to think for yourself. You need me as a pastor to lead you. Because only I can read the Bible, you can't. Only I can understand the Bible, you can't. Imagine you're college educated, but you can't read the Bible, you can't understand it. You need this man to tell you what you need to do. P.Diddy Dowell believe in tithing, 10% of your money to him. Where in the Bible, chapter and verse, where it says to pay 10% of your money to a pastor? I'll cash app anybody $200 right now. Where in the Bible does it say to tithe a pastor your money? Was the tithe directed to pastors? No. Where's the storehouse? It's not at your local church. See, this is what these pastors and wolves do. They manipulate you by twisting scripture to benefit themselves. That's what they do. The tithe consists of livestock, vegetation, fruits, grains. You understand that? Herbs, spices. It went to the Levites because they had no inheritance. It didn't go to no pastor. Is P.Diddy Dowell a Levite? See, everybody say they follow in the Bible, but they're really not. It's interesting how they believe in tithing money to pastors. It's very, very interesting how they're only focusing on that. And the one who benefit is the pastor, because he convinced you under the spells of witchcraft that this is something you're supposed to do. And I'm pretty sure there's an incentive to do it. In other words, if you pay me this 10%, God will open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. That's a lie. This is what these churches do. Can a man rob God? Oh, you have robbed me of tithes and offerings. What they do, they guilt trip you. They make you feel that God is going to send a curse your way if you don't do it. So a lot of you are giving all of your money to these pastors out of fear. But then the Bible says not by compulsion, that you have to give willingly from the heart. So if I'm giving out of fear of being cursed by God, that's not a blessing. Let's get back to the tapes. Let's go.
Election was juicy. Some of these books I could never find later on myself because they did pique my interest. I was quite the spiritual warrior at the time, if you will. So during that course of time, basically the brethren and pastor had convinced me that me and my wife, at the time, girlfriend, we were never officially married. We did have a child together and a long history in life together. And these brethren and the pastor had basically convinced me that I was unequally yoked, that she was no good for me or my daughter, that they were convincing me basically to get away from her at all costs, which they did help to facilitate a few times by allowing me to come out to Georgia with Brother Rufus for a little while. And then I was mostly out on the land in Tennessee, hanging out with brothers, preparing for feast days. I would get there early to prepare for weeks before feast days. During this time, there was a situation that arose where he actually had told other brethren that he wanted me to go back. That he got an inkling in the spirit that he wanted me to go back to Florida. And at that time, I kind of found myself in some debt because I had been moving around and doing what I could for the ministry.
Notice he was doing what he could do for the ministry, putting his life on the line, sacrificing his life for the church, doing what he had to do because he felt that that was the right thing to do. But notice what happened to him. He fell into debt. I thought P.Diddy Dowell said that everybody at Straitway is living debt-free. Checkmate. I mean, P.Diddy Dowell made it very clear on an interview he had with, I think another YouTuber, I forgot his name, but this particular guy visited his church. And basically, I think it's Whitlock, something Whitlock. I'm not sure about his name, but it's Whitlock, I believe, something Whitlock. That's his name. Jason, I believe it is. He said in that particular interview that, you know, they got all these houses, they're living debt-free, they're just living happily ever after. But based on the testimony, he fell into debt, which says a lot about how the people are given all, trying to do things based on what the pastor's teaching, but they're not getting the results.
Kind of found myself in some debt because I had been moving around and doing what I could for the ministry.
For the ministry. He'd been doing what he can for the ministry. Think about how many of you folks out there who have been committed to your church, committed to your pastor, and you really believe deep down in your heart that you're doing what you're doing for God, only to be doing it for the devil. Because the one who's benefiting is the pastor, and you're the one who's struggling. It's always like that, folks. The pastor is always in the mansion. He's always driving around the Rolls Royce, the Bentleys, the Beamers. He's flying in Lear jets. But guess what? Guess what you got to do to go to church? You got to take a skateboard to church. You got to rollerblade to church. You got to hitchhike to go to church. That's what you got to do. Some of you got to walk to church because you can't afford to buy a car because your pastor threatened your life with death if you don't bring a tithe. This is what they do. Filthy lucre. All they seek is your money. They don't care about your soul. They just want the money.
So as I left, you know, I told Dowell about the amount of money that it would take to cover my debt and get back on my feet when I got back to Florida. And he called me to his house as I was leaving, and he handed me $1,000, which I received. And I did make the comment to him that I would do my best to pay this money back, that I really appreciated it, which later will become an issue in the story. So I go back to Florida, and during this time, Brother Eric Gonzalez had started to become a pretty popular member of the ministry. And I was aware that he was a dog trainer, and a damn good one at that.
So based on his testimony regarding Mr. Gonzalez, he said that he was a dog trainer And not just any dog trainer, a damn good one. You know what that means? That he was very good at what he do. And he was very popular. And if you also notice how P. Diddy Dowell always want to send the men different places. He did the same thing with Gonzalez. He wanted him to go somewhere. He wanted him to go focus on another community of people. Same thing he wanted to do with this brother. Why? So that they can have access to your women and your children. This is what they do, guys. Let's get back to the tapes.
A well-known guy. So I had reached out to Brother Eric about acquiring me a German Shepherd for a protection dog for my family, which he was actually very quick in finding me the exact kind of dog that I wanted. So upon coming to Miami to get that dog, Eric basically told me he was interested in getting me into the dog training thing. He said I would be a pretty good candidate for that. I was quick and witty. I understood the game that he was doing with his dogs. So over the next few months, it was arranged where I would move to Miami with Eric and help start kind of a congregation down there, if you will, a fellowship down there with some other brothers.
Notice what he just said. To go down there where Eric was. Put the pieces together, guys. We're going to rewind it back so we can get the context. He was coming down there. Why? Because Eric was already over there. Remember? Remember all the videos that I've shared? Diddy Dowell made you believe that Eric abandoned his family. No, he did not. He was out there on business. And Diddy Dowell knew that. And he put him over there and was messing around with his wife, which brings us to the section that I got to bring out for the court, where Diddy Dowell pretty much was caught getting his feet rubbed by Eric's wife at the time.
I was there when there was the controversy of whether or not she was going to be with Pastor Dowell or not. I was there when things weren't, like literally finalized. I stayed in Pastor Dowell's house twice. Opened up one door and he's getting his feet rubbed by Sister Nellie. Go figure. I'm like, all right, he's got it going on, but that's his personal business. But now it's like, hey, it's all out there now. So it's all out there now. I'm like, oh man, yeah, But I've been so quiet. I haven't said nothing, and I'm like, you know what? At this point, I need to call out evil and wickedness for what it is.
Notice this, guys. This brother opened a door and saw Eric's wife massaging P. Diddy Dowell's feet. Now, what wife is sitting around massaging another man's feet while her husband is in Florida? Do you understand that? Now, we're going to listen to more of that, but we want to get back to the point of the video. It has had to share the testimonies because we've done this in multiple videos. But being that I have you here, you need to see the severity of the problem. The woman that P. Diddy Dowell have is technically not his wife. He took her from another man who was a part of the community taking care of business elsewhere, trying to sell a house, deal with another community of people. And while doing that, believing that he's being faithful to the ministry, P. Diddy Dowell was fucking his wife. That is what was going down. So you tell me, is this what a man of Yah does? So don't get distracted by all these little silly videos he's doing with his minions, talking about me and New Breed. Bro, we ain't out here fucking nobody else's wife. We ain't doing that. He out here trying to distract y'all with a bunch of petty little nonsense about community and this and that. Why? Because he don't want to lose his community. He don't want you to come to unlimited potential farms. He don't want you to come. He don't want you to join. He don't want you to be a part of the greatness. He don't want you to. He want you to believe that Straitway is the place for you to go. You go to Straitway, you're going to be paying tithes. If you go to Straitway, you cannot criticize P. Diddy Dowell. If you do, you'll get the judgment that happened to Brother Rufus. If anybody dare speak against P. Diddy Dowell, they will get cast out of the assembly the same way Brother Rufus got cast out of the assembly at Straitway. They pretty much cast him out. He put 14 years of his life into the ministry, dedicating his life. And P. Diddy Dowell cut him off, cast him out the assembly as a vagabond. That's exactly what happened. So what does that prove? What that proves, ladies and gentlemen, is this. If you join Straitway, you don't own nothing. You don't own anything. They could kick you out. So while he's trying to dress up everything as if though he's this man up and he's this and whoa, it's a community. No. That's the smoke and mirrors. Behind that is slavery. Remember, we're talking about a man who was taught and mentored by R.G. Stair. Look him up. Look up R.G. Stair. Guess who that is? That's P. Diddy Dowell's pastor. That's the man he learned everything from, including taking other men's wives. Let's get back to these tapes. Let's go.
Kind of dog that I wanted. So upon coming to Miami to get that dog, Eric basically told me he was interested in getting me into the dog training thing. He said I would be a pretty good candidate for that. I was quick and witty. I understood the game that he was doing with his dogs. So over the next few months, it was arranged where I would move to Miami with Eric and help start kind of a congregation down there, if you will, a fellowship down there with some other brothers that were starting to come into the ministry. So I was down there for about 3 months. I learned the dog training business. I had my dog down there with me the whole time. And just previous to moving.
Notice that. He said he was down there for 3 months. That's key information that we have to think about here. 3 months. That means that Mr. Gonzalez was also there. But remember, P. Diddy Dowell said that he abandoned his family. That's why he decided to take his wife. Those are the grounds that he's trying to stand on, is that a man abandoned his wife. So, hey, I could take her now. Where in the scripture it says you could do that? Where in the scriptures did it say that a woman can put away her husband and divorce him? The Bible says she's to remain unmarried. And the only way she could be married is if her husband be dead. So explain to me how a pastor use a woman to divorce her husband on no biblical grounds, and then out of all the men, she end up with the pastor? And to add insult to injury, Brother Jamie's testimony. Make sure you check that out on the platform. Brother Jamie went down there to Straitway with his wife. And guess what happened? He lost his wife too. They convinced Jamie's wife to divorce Jamie. And guess who ended up with Jamie's wife? Elder Becker. Checkmate. Elder Becker took Jamie's wife to his bed and fucked her. You tell me, is this a ministry of Yah or a ministry of the devil? You decide. Let's get back to the tapes.
In Miami, with Eric, I attended the Feast of Tabernacles at Straitway. And one night, they do a lot of heavy drinking down there during their feast days.
A lot of heavy drinking down there at their feast days. Listen.
Thousands of gallons of wine, man. I mean, hundreds of gallons of wine.
Wow.
They go through so much wine, so much beer. It's nonstop for days and days and days.
Nonstop.
So, I came up touring in a band and living a pretty heavy party lifestyle before I came into this ministry.
Now, notice what he said. He was in a band. He lived the party life. He knows what's going on, and so forth. But then again, we have to think about what's happening here. He talked about the amount of wine and beer and how much they're drinking. You don't see a pattern here? Y'all don't see what's happening? Again, if you look at P. Diddy Dowell's videos, he's always drunk. He's always drunk. He's drunk every single time he does a live show. Drunk. I'm talking about stone drunk. This is why he's always cussing and cursing everybody out and wilding out and being very disrespectful. And this is supposed to be the pastor of the church, a man of the cloth. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense.
So the whole drinking and getting down like that, I wasn't too much up for it. I had maybe a couple beers, maybe tried the wine or something like that. But
look, you got to get the magnitude of what this man is saying, right? He was in the party life. He was in a band. He looked like he could play the guitar. I can tell when somebody looked like they could play the guitar. He looked like he could play instruments. But my point is, he lived that party life, which means drinking, wilding out. And even he himself said, you know what? I'm not even going to go that far. I might have a beer and just kind of chill. What does that say? P. Diddy Dowell and his boys in them was wilding out, getting drunk. I'm talking about stone cold stank drunk. And this is what they do all the time. Back to the tapes.
I was being very sober-minded. And over the course of Tabernacles, I was introduced to a sister down there. We hit it off fairly quickly. Was actually introduced to her by pastor's daughter at the time, because she steered up a certain type of conversation, if you will, about my interests in sisters and what I'm looking for in an Israelite woman, that type of thing. So I said my little thing, and she ends up introducing me to the sister. So for the next few months, we talked daily.
So basically what he's saying is that I guess P. Diddy Dowell's daughter or something along them lines introduced him to a sister. Let's go.
She spoke to me how she wasn't being treated fairly in the ministry.
She wasn't being treated fairly in the ministry. Think about that, people. A woman said to him that she wasn't being treated fairly in the ministry, which mean at Straitway, they abuse women. Didn't we do a reaction video to another woman that talked about her time at Straitway? You remember that live stream? Y'all don't see a pattern? How women are being treated? Isn't that amazing? Let's get back to the tapes.
She was married to a guy outside the land who was not a part of the ministry. The faith wasn't affiliated with anything.
She was married to a guy outside of the faith, so and so and so. Look at the pattern, guys. Same scenario.
Nothing like that. And reports were being that she was, being abused, the guns pulled on her, the works. I was even at pastor's house one day while she called to his house for his help because she had been hit with a gun by this man. So word was from her mom wasn't too keen with her separating fully from the marriage because she had kids with this man. And Pastor Dow wasn't letting her at the time divorce this man. But something was definitely going on there. Something was in the works. So by the time I moved to Miami, I've been talking to this sister pretty regularly, day in and day out, making plans with this sister. And I started to come out to a few of the brethren about the correspondence with this sister and kind of what we were looking to do, what we were planning to do.
I want to pause for a second because he said some key information that is very important for us to look at. He talked about how with this sister that I guess he was talking to, or whatever the case is, how P. Diddy Dowell, I guess, didn't push her to go the divorce route. I find that very interesting because if that's the case, why did he push Jamie's wife to get a divorce, right? And why did he push Nelly to divorce Mr. Gonzalez? Trying to figure this out. Another thing that is interesting about these situations is, and again, to Brother Jamie, respectfully, I don't know if he was with a Caucasian woman or black woman, but I'm going to assume it was a white woman. Or perhaps she was Hispanic. I don't know. Because in both scenarios, what I'm noticing is that the cult of Straitway seemed to have a fetish for Hispanic women and Caucasian women. They want to take those women in as wives. Whereas if it's a black woman, it's a little different. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they do the same thing with black women too. But for the most part, I noticed that all of these divorces with these men taking other men wives, the women are normally on the Caucasian side. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's rewind it back so that we can listen to more details about this. Let's go.
Being abused, guns pulled on her, the works. I was even at pastor's house one day while she called to his house for his help because she had been hit with a gun.
So she called P. Diddy Dowell's house because she was hit with a gun. Think about what's going on, y'all. Think about what's happening. Let's go.
By this man. So word was from her, mom wasn't too keen with her separating fully from the marriage because she had kids with this man. And Pastor Dow wasn't letting her at the time divorce this man.
Ain't that hypocritical of P. Diddy Dowell? You know what's so funny about this, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm not saying funny as in funny like as a joke, but funny as in, it's amazing. The woman was said to be getting abused, right? Allegedly. Getting hit across the face with a gun. P. Diddy Dowell says, you can't divorce your husband. Are y'all getting that? A woman is being abused. And P. Diddy Dowell did not push for her to get no divorce. But when it came to Brother Jamie, who didn't do nothing in terms of abuse, when it comes to Brother Gonzalez, who didn't do nothing in terms of abuse, P. Diddy Dowell coerced those women into divorcing their husbands. Why? Because those are the women they wanted to take in their bed. And if you study all my videos regarding the P. Diddy Dowell situation, he was definitely into Nelly pretty much from like day one, I believe, when she first got down there. Let me see if I can bring up some footage. Let me see if I got something.
There are what?
Nah, that's not what I want. Where is the tapes? Where is the tapes? Let me see if I got something here. Because what I want to show you is how Diddy Dowell was heavily into this woman. Let me see if this is a tape. Let me see.
Read. When a man
Hold on, let me see. Where is it? Nah, that ain't the tape I'm looking for.
Father and the man agrees.
I'm gonna have to find it another time because I don't want to get lost in the shuffle here. I got so many different footage. It's just unbelievable. Let me see what we got here. I think we already showed that. I'm just gonna focus on what we're doing here. I'm gonna focus on that. I'll get to that another time. Let's go.
But something was definitely going on there. Something was in the works. So by the time I moved to Miami, I've been talking to this sister pretty regularly, day in and day out, making plans with this sister. And I started to come out to a few of the brethren about the correspondence with this sister and kind of what we were looking to do, what we were planning to do. Of course, knowing the way Straitways ran, I'm trying to do things by the books, be cool with the brothers, make sure I'm doing everything okay so this all gets okayed, which never happened at all. As a matter of fact, when Pastor caught wind of it, kind of by his conference in Atlanta, Georgia, in November of 2012, I had brothers telling me, Pastor's not going to agree with this. You don't make enough money. That sister needs somebody that can help take care of her kids, yada, yada, yada.
Are y'all listening to that? They're basically telling him he's not making enough money. That sister need a man that's making a lot of money because she need her kids to be taken care of. Wow. Imagine that. You're being told by the church that, hey, you can't get with her because you're not making enough money to take care of her kids. Do you see what I mean? How they have total control over your life? When you go to Straitway, you have no control over your life. The pastor tell you who you can be with, when you can take a shit, when you can go outside, what you can do in terms of social media. You cannot go online as a free-thinking person and say, hey, guys, I'm living at Straitway and I want to share my review of what I've experienced. Because if your review is negative, they kick you out. That's what they do. They do it to everybody. There are so many witnesses and so many testimonies of people coming forward, crying out about their experience at Straitway. It's not peaceful as you think. When they do their videos, the way they get you in is they use seduction. They use witchcraft. They show you videos of the land. You see the animals. You see the fruits. You see them with the chickens. And it makes you think that what you're seeing is something that's happening every day. No, it's a skit. It's what they show you to draw you in. Once you get a part of it and you're there for real, you're stuck. Because they are requiring you to give up everything you own. So your car is not your car anymore. Your money is not your money anymore. Your wife is not your wife anymore. Your children are not your children anymore. It is even said that at Straitway, babies that are being born, they don't got no birth certificate. That's right. Babies that are being born don't have no birth certificate. They don't have no social security number. So please explain to me how these children, when they get of age, how will they function in society without this information? What this will do is make you a slave for the rest of your life. And the only thing you could do is stay at Straitway because you can't have a life outside of Straitway. As far as the world is concerned, you don't exist. This is sad. Let's get back to the tapes.
The scheme and the plots had begun. But that really didn't faze us. I'd actually been coming to Tennessee and meeting and staying with this sister, and we were planning marriage. At one point, I even had her pregnant. And the more that I would question her and listen to what she was saying to me, because she eventually did become divorced, and Dow helped her do this.
Dowell helped her divorce. The same pattern, people. Same pattern. Dowell helped her. It seemed like every woman that come to Straitway, Dowell helps them to divorce whatever man they were with. It's amazing.
Suspicion in the same way, bro Jamie.
Let me rewind that back for you. Let's go.
Question her and listen to what she was saying to me, because she eventually did become divorced, and Dow helped her do this. I have a suspicion in the same way, bro Jamie, secretly, and then was telling her that he could take her on as a wife, you know, not for sexual reasons or anything, but to make sure she's covered and her kids are taken care of. So, and you know, this is way later on in the story though, but you know, I broke my ties with this sister. I was starting to become very upset and bitter with the way these snakes conduct themselves and how personal they'll make it with you, thinking that we're all just here playing church.
That's exactly how it is, guys. They make you believe that you're all playing church. Now, a lot of you probably was wondering when I'm going to do a video with this particular footage. Well, obviously, I was in North Carolina taking care of business. Couldn't do that. I wasn't at the studio, you know, but now that, you know, everything is taken care of, it's time for me to get to work. So this is something that we're going to pretty much focus on right here. So we see clearly that the same thing that happened with that woman happened also with brother Jamie. They were forcing her to divorce her husband. Let's go.
And I can assure you, Dow, I was never there playing church. So, yeah, I remember sitting with Dow one night and questioning him about his deliverance methods and where he learned all this stuff from, how he got so seasoned and experienced in doing this.
Again, when you think about this, he's getting it from those spell books where he does witchcraft from. See, the problem with Diddy Dowell right now that he greatly fears is the fact that I'm not under any of his spells. He knows that. I can clearly see right through all the BS. But the folks that are under him, he got them right where he want them. Strong delusion. And that's how the majority of these pastors keep the people. These pastors are not from the Most High. They're from the devil. Their heaven is on earth right now. They talk about the Most High this, the Most High that. These people don't follow the Most High. They follow the devil. That's who P.Diddy Dowell follow. The devil. He have a spirit of competitive jealousy, a spirit of adultery, fornication. All of the men that he appointed as elders and pastors are all of the devil. I mean, think about this. P.Diddy Dowell ordained Brother Rufus as a pastor and then turned around and pretty much dragged him through the mud, calling him overweight, lazy, a nobody. But he's the very same guy that ordained him as a pastor from God. The math is not mathing. How do you ordain a man as a pastor and then turn around and try to drag him through the mud as if though he's just a wicked man? So how you didn't know he was a wicked man before? So are you telling me that God made a mistake? Or you're full of shit when you made him a pastor because you just wanted the young lady who was under his care? Listen, I personally believe that P. Diddy Dowell made Brother Rufus a pastor in exchange to take his goddaughter. In other words, give him position to make him feel important in hopes to gain his favor, to take his spiritual daughter. I can read this it's very easy to see. It's like bribing somebody. Like, I mean, come on. You make him a pastor to take possession of a young lady as a wife, and then you shit on him. Man, I got this dude figured out, bro. Let's get back to the tapes.
And he admitted to me, right in front of his wife, Carol, two witnesses, that him and his wife used to travel around the U.S. and get involved in different deliverances going on, like different churches, different groups. He was seeking the knowledge on deliverance at the time. And he said the person who he learned the most from, when it all became a reality, when it all clicked for him, was I believe he said he was in Texas, a part of this big deliverance ceremony that was happening somewhere, and he met an African witch doctor.
He met an African witch doctor, P.Diddy Dowell. P.Diddy Dowell. Learn deliverance services from an African witch doctor. Checkmate. I know it's shocking to y'all, fam, but I told y'all, I'm not playing checkers, I'm playing chess. Let's rewind that back so we can hear the tapes.
Different churches, different groups, he was seeking the knowledge on deliverance at the time. And he said the person who he learned the most from, when it all became a reality, when it all clicked for him, was I believe he said he was in Texas, a part of this big deliverance ceremony that was happening somewhere, and he met an African witch doctor who was the only one able in the room to be able to deal with the spirit that they were dealing with at the time.
Only one able to deal with the spirits at that time was an African witch doctor, and P. Diddy Dowell took notes on how to do it. Come on now. Why would a man of Yah be taking lessons from a witch doctor? Why he's not studying the Bible? See, all of these pastors that you see in these Christian churches that be doing all of this laying hands on everybody, speaking in these demonic tongues. Listen, ladies and gentlemen of the court, anytime you're in these churches and you hear people sounding like this, listen to this. Rototo ratata soriamatata. That's all bullshit. Do you understand me? That's bullshit. That is not from the Most High. That's called gibberish. Anybody can do it. Just like I just did it. You could go do it right now. Now, if you go do it, does that mean the Spirit of the Most High is in you? Does that mean the Spirit is speaking through you? They lie to you. When they do all of that stuff, they casting spells on you, making you believe that you're speaking in tongues according to the Bible. When you study the Bible about the day of Pentecost and read it, it says that the people spoke real languages that were understood by those who spoke in the native tongue. When the Bible says speak in tongues, it's not talking about using your tongue to go ratata rototo rat, none of that mess. Tongue mean language. Do you understand? If you're speaking in someone's native tongue, it's talking about language. Study the scriptures and stop letting these demon pastors manipulate you. See, when I go teaching this truth and bringing forth these live streams, it destroys P. Diddy Dowell, causing major, major damage to his cult because I'm able to uncover the lies and all of the demonic activity they don't want you to know. The man is a warlock, a demon who's out here manipulating the people for filthy lucre's sake. And all of the demon elders and pastors of Straitway are self-appointed wolves in sheep's clothing who have been hand-picked and selected by the devil. None of those men ever read the Bible. They don't even live by it. They are under the control of the warlock, P.Diddy Dowell. And this is what he don't want you to know. And for those that wondering when I'm going like this and like that, I'm looking in 2 different cameras because I'm streaming on 2 different platforms. Let's get back to the tapes.
This is part of why I came into Straitway. At first, it was the talk of gold and silver, food storage.
That's exactly what everybody heard from the beginning. When he's speaking right here, you got to listen to what he's saying, fam. You got to listen to what he's saying. Let me rewind that back, because a lot of you that don't know the history, P.Diddy Dowell started off a lot talking about you got to get gold and silver and stock up, prepare for the end days, the economy is going to fall. This is what he was doing many years back. You understand? He did videos like that every single day. I know the history because I've been on YouTube since 2006. So I know. And he's been doing that stuff from around let's say 2008, 2009, somewhere around in them areas. That's when he was pushing that buy silver, buy gold, stock up on these coins because you're not going to have no way of buying and selling, even though that's BS too. Because if the mark of the beast is implemented, the Bible says those who don't take it will be put to death. So how are you going to be able to use a silver or gold coin to make purchases when you're unable to buy or sell in that day? So if anything, he must have been being an agent from back then, trying to get everybody to spend all of their money on gold and silver, which will be useless in that day either way. But anyway, let's get back to the tapes.
That was happening somewhere, and he met an African witch doctor who was the only one able in the room to be able to deal with the spirit that they were dealing with at the time. This is part of why I came into Straitway. At first, it was the talk of gold and silver, food storage, guns and ammo, the guy stuff. And I had been studying biblical truths for a while at the time too, so the deliverance part of it really did interest me a lot, which I was involved in quite a few mass deliverances, which were always all filmed. And during these mass deliverances, he would play this song, Nothing But the Blood of Jesus.
Listen very carefully. What P.Diddy Dowell done in this following segment of the testimony from this brother here is something that a lot of you may not be familiar with, but it's done in hip hop. It's done in rock and roll. It's a way to cast spells on you to control the way you feel. It can make you become violent. It can make you have a spirit on you by changing the speed of the music, setting it at a certain frequency, a certain hertz, to allow the demons to flow inside of you. Let's go.
Over the intercoms, real loud. Not only real loud, but like slowed down a little bit, like you put your fingers on a record, and it's nothing but the blood of Jesus, and you can hear all these other frequencies and just different dissonant notes coming in through what he was playing over the broadcast.
The hertz. That's pretty much what he's talking about. So all this time, P. Diddy Dowell was casting spells, y'all. Releasing demons on the people. By playing the music, slowing it down. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Getting it in their mind. At the same time, working with a witch doctor. Make it make sense, y'all. These are the dark secrets P. Diddy Dowell don't want you to know.
As soon as these deliverances pop off, dozens of people just start hitting the floor, screaming, yelling, vomiting.
Why are they screaming and yelling and vomiting? Because the demons entered. Where in the Bible did you see anything like this happening? Notice this, ladies and gentlemen. Where in the Bible do you see any of this type of stuff happening? Have anybody ever thought about that? Have anybody ever thought about what I'm saying? People falling out, throwing up, vomiting, screaming and yelling, wilding out. It's only happening in these demon churches. Why? Because the people allowed a demon to enter. P.Diddy Dowell allowed demons to enter these people. They lost their soul. Those are all sacrifices. All of those services that they call deliverance services, those are all sacrifices. Rituals. Let me explain something to you folks. Why is it that everybody need deliverance at Straitway? Think about that. The Bible teaches us that if you're living righteous, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you're a godly person. You don't got no demons in you. You don't got no evil spirits in you that need to be cast out. I mean, if I'm following the Most High in spirit and truth, living according to the word of the Most High, I don't need nobody to deliver me from anything because I'm already delivered. So why is it that all of these people at Straitway are always vomiting and throwing up and going crazy, and they all need deliverance every other week if they're living holy? If everybody at Straitway is keeping the commandments, why they need deliverance? I mean, even the other day, and you know what's so interesting about this? P.Diddy Dowell keep accusing brother Rufus that he's fat and he's obese and lazy. But yet you got some Pastor Mayor guy who is clearly morbidly obese, and yet nobody's saying anything about him. I mean, am I the only one that noticed that? Because this so-called Pastor Mayor, or whatever his name is, he was in a video basically accusing me and New Breed of all sorts of evil and talking about how me and New Breed is building a community where sinners will be able to thrive and live ungodly and all this other mess because we don't want to be quote unquote religious like their cult. See, I understand that in the world we live, if we live in a community, it's a community of diverse people. I understand that. I understand that if you go to your 9 to 5, you're not working around Bible believers all day. You're not. You got to learn to coexist with other people. If you go to a car dealership, they're not selling cars to just Bible believers. When you go to a supermarket, they're not selling food to just Bible believers. But at Straitway, it's a cult. So the only people they want at their cult are people they can control. You understand? We understand that there's all different types of people in life. And we understand that when you have land, you're not supposed to be a person who discriminates against people. That's like if I have land and I'm inviting everybody to come out to the land, right? And people are building on the community, doing this, doing that. And a person who's gay come to the land, says, hey, I want to build a store right here because what I do is I sell t-shirts and I sell, various designer clothes and so on and so forth. Am I to say, sorry, you're not allowed to build a business on this land? What would that be called? discrimination. Let's rewind the tape and forget about that and make it make sense. You go to buy land. Hey, sir, I notice a sign right there says land for sale. I want to purchase the land so I can build, my dream house for my family. Well, in order for you to buy this land, you can't be a follower of the Bible. When in the history of life have landowners discriminated against someone from buying the land because they rep the Most High? I'll wait. But see, this is what religion does to you. And I'm not condoning people that live the alternative lifestyle. That's not what this is about. But of course, these demons over there at Straitway will manipulate you into believing that Ringo is in support of those that live the alternative life. No, that's not the case. What I'm trying to say is this. If you're going to have a community, you cannot be a racist and you cannot be prejudiced or discriminate against people. Can't do that. All people are welcome. I cannot control how someone else lived their life. Just like I cannot control the fact that P.Diddy Dowell took another man's wife. Now think about this. P.Diddy Dowell is supposed to be a man of Yah, right? Even though he's a man of the devil. But he took another man's wife. He's living in the sin of adultery right now at Straitway. So what is the difference between the sin of adultery and the sin of homosexuality? Which one is worse? See, this is the hypocrisy of Straitway. They talk a good talk, but when you start to think logically, you'll see through the smoke and mirrors. That cult is full of adultery. All of the pastors are in adultery. This is what's going on. And it's really, really sad that nobody can see this thing. Again, study the videos I've made. I got countless videos talking about this topic, and I'm the most thorough with these breakdowns. Let's go.
Sometimes it'll be 10, 12 brothers on one brother trying to hold him down because he has a violent spirit in him. He's thrashing about, screaming.
Thrashing around, screaming because the demon entered him. The demon was not there. How is it that the demons are coming out of these people at these services where witch doctors are at and P.Diddy Dowell is there taking notes?
Saying profanities, sometimes staring down the pastor himself. And pastor didn't like that during deliverance. You start staring at him and wonder, he'll get the attention of some other brothers and make them watch you.
You see what he just said? P.Diddy Dowell will get some of his men over there at Straitway to stare you down, to watch you. This is what they do, fam. Listen, y'all thinking that Straitway is a ministry or some place full of love and compassion. Y'all got to watch my videos so y'all can learn the real. Because it's not what you think it is. These are testimonies from people who were there, who had boots on the ground, seen with their own eyes, heard with their own ears. Let's get back to the tapes.
Thing Dowell didn't know is I was always there watching him. He knew that. And that's why I was ostracized so hard in the situation I was in. Yeah. So, while on the land, to fast forward just a little bit, the day I left Straitway, Dowell knew I wanted to talk to him. Probably didn't like what I was fixing to talk to him about, because he knew I was a straight up brother. I was always straightforward. Did not ever once beat around the bush while I was there about my intentions, what I was doing, none of that. So I waited around the land, man. It had to be 6, 7, probably an 8-hour day waiting around the land, playing on the computer in the dining hall, going to Brother Rich's house, going to Brother Shane's house, hanging around, helping, doing stuff on the land. And so I waited that whole day, and he didn't give me the time of day because he was busy with Jamie's wife, Heather, and Eric's wife, Nellie, that whole day.
Did y'all just get that? Let's rewind that back. Did y'all get that? Let's rewind it back.
While on the land, to fast forward just a little bit, the day I left Straitway, Dow knew I wanted to talk to him. Probably didn't like what I was fixing to talk to him about, because he knew I was a straight up brother. I was always straightforward. Did not ever once beat around the bush while I was there about my intentions, what I was doing, none of that. So I waited around the land, man. It had to be 6, 7, probably an 8-hour day waiting around the land, playing on the computer in the dining hall, going to Brother Rich's house, going to Brother Shane's house, hanging around, helping, doing stuff on the land. And so I waited that whole day, and he didn't give me the time of day because he was busy with Jamie's wife, Heather, and Eric's wife, Nellie, that whole day. Every single instance I saw Pastor Dow, he was speaking to those two women.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. The tapes don't lie, people. When I tell you, I specialize in the tapes. The tapes don't lie. P.Diddy Dowell was seen by a witness with not only Mr. Gonzalez's wife, but also Jamie's wife. Amazing. It's interesting how a pastor is being seen with other men's wives. Man. Let's get back to the tapes, man. Let me see what's going on. Let's rewind that back so we can hear that again. Let's go.
Straightforward. Did not ever once beat around the bush while I was there about my intentions, what I was doing, none of that. So I waited around the land, man. It had to be 6, 7, probably an 8-hour day waiting around the land, playing on the computer in the dining hall, going to Brother Rich's house, going to Brother Shane's house, hanging around, helping, doing stuff on the land. And so I waited that whole day, and he didn't give me the time of day because he was busy with Jamie's wife, Heather, and Eric's wife, Nellie, that whole day. Every single instance I saw Pastor Dow, he was speaking to those two women, either in their little pavilion area or in the dining hall, walking up and down the roads, laughing, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I watched that. And there was all kinds of rumors already starting to go around the land because there was lots of brothers who Dow was calling false brethren. It was all talking. And it wasn't just your typical gossip and slander. We was all being honest with one another about what the hell we was seeing going on there, right?
Now think about this. He's seeing, other brothers are seeing, other men are seeing what's going down at Straitway with these women, and the pastor is like, there's a lot of stuff going on. So when P. Diddy Dowell is trying to paint Straitway as this clean, holy, righteous land of Yah, no, it's not. It's a cult. Do you understand? And he's the warlock in charge. Let's get back to the tapes.
Judging it, weighing it on a scale of rationality. Like, we're just gonna sit around here and deal with this out of this guy, this punk? Really? Dogging people in people's face, controlling everything, and then he'll look you right in the eye and try to make you feel like you're damned? Oh, man. Oh, Dow still ain't recognized who I am yet, though. It's all good. It's all good. We getting there. So, oh, man, I had this all lined up for 10 years, man. I've been collecting intel on this man. And after I left Straitway, I joined this other group with Nasi Yashuvel Zebulon called the Hebrew War Machine. There was a big debate fixing to pop off called Kemet on Trial. And I joined this scholarly group to help them, articulate enough knowledge to make these people look like fools, which I think we did a pretty good job of. Even though that being said, there was a lot of information that Ron Shields and Nasi never got around to. But, we had already had enough nails in that coffin. During this period, I had also had a visitation from some men in suits asking me about my involvements, different aspects of the ministry, what my intentions were, basically feeling me out if I'm some kind of extremist or not. And, I'm just a simple family man,
He had a visitation, guys, by men in suits regarding the situations he was in. Ain't that interesting?
I ain't got time for all that. But it is good to get in a little scholarly discussion every once in a while with some like-minded men. So, a lot of what I hear these brothers talking about, I can back up. I was there, witnessed it. Maybe even some stuff that some guys are leaving out. And it's hard, man. There's a lot that happened during that time that was just so crazy. And I couldn't believe I had myself caught up in this kind of thing, man. So yeah. Back to Straitway Cult Ministries. Yeah, I was planning on being attacked during that whole instance with Brother Eric, because what I heard during their court cases was my situation with this other sister was being used in these court cases.
Wow. So his situation with the other woman was being used in the court case with Eric. Make it make sense, y'all. This is amazing.
To defend whatever side of it was being used for, I'm not sure. I really don't care. As men, there's not nothing that any of these people could say that would change what happened to me. Right? And the more defensive I see some of these men get, and ruffled up I see these men get, you wouldn't be able to handle it the other way. Yeah. So, aside from, I basically sold my entire life away to go be a part of this ministry. And, I was done dirty, and, never had any other reason to speak about this kind of thing until I sat back and started thinking about the families there and these innocent women and children that are mind controlled from the beginning. With so many, you're overwhelmed and barraged with so many tactics that you don't have time to even think about what's going on because you're caught up looking at yourself like, damn.
Are y'all listening to this, man? This is powerful information here, man, that proves and show the mindset people are in when they're under the spell and the witchcraft of Straitway Cult Ministries. The women aren't safe. The children aren't safe. I mean, imagine children are being born on the land and they don't have no birth certificate, no social security number. How are they going to function in society when they get older? I mean, will they even be able to leave the community? What if police stop them? What if, how are they going to have a car? How are they going to get a driver's license? How are they going to get a driver's license? You don't have a social security number? Yeah, I would like a car. I would like a driver's license. Oh, you have to fill out this social security number. Oh, I don't got one, but I need a driver's license. This is what cults do. They destroy your children's futures. And it forces your children to now be submitted to the cult forever because they can't do nothing else. They're an alien in the world. Back to the tapes.
If I don't listen to this guy, if I don't stick this course the way he's putting it out there, you know, I'm going to hell. And he does tell you they'll send curses out. I know the exact curses they read out of Psalms on people. They get dirty.
Wow. So they read curses out of Psalms and cast them on people. This is why when you read the Bible, people, you can't just take scripture and just read it. Some of y'all do that. Some of you religious folks, you be doing dumb stuff like that. Like you'll have difficulty with people and you'll go find a scripture that says something along the lines, may their hand be chopped off according to X, Y, and Z that favor my righteous cause. Fam, the Bible did not tell you to say that over anybody. You're repeating what a man said regarding a isolated situation. It's what religious people do. They'll take something they find in the book of Psalms and read it as if though they're releasing curses over people they don't like. Well, that's what P.Diddy Dowell did in his case. He was sending curses out. Let's go.
Get real dirty when you don't agree with them.
When you don't agree with them, they do you real dirty. Let's rewind that back. Let's go.
That are mind controlled from the beginning. With so many, you're overwhelmed and barraged with so many tactics that you don't have time to even think about what's going on because you're caught up looking at yourself like, damn.
And that's how it be, ladies and gentlemen, when you're in these churches with these cults, these false prophets, these wicked people full of demons. They use so many spells, so much witchcraft, so much sorcery. You don't know what's going on because they dress it up as if though they're righteous. The way they dress it up, they'll really have you believing that they are the source of righteousness. And they're not. I mean, think about this. P. Diddy Dowell was live earlier, and he really thought he had some sort of upper hand. Like, yes, I'm now where the people are, and I'm doing my thing, and you know, everything Ringo and them said about me is done away with. No. I was just waiting for you to continue to do your nonsense so I could come out with this stream. Because now we're getting down to the nitty gritty of the dark secrets of Straitway, that they indulge in witchcraft, sorcery. He's a warlock. He got his information from various books that deals with curses and putting spells on people. He even learned from an African witch doctor on how to perform, you know, exorcisms and various deliverance services where the people would be vomiting, you know, screaming and wilding out. And this is something that's ongoing at Straitway. You have to continually do these ritual deliverance services because what they try to do is make you believe you got demons in you. It's interesting now, all of these people claim they serve in God, but they all need these deliverance services. It's not making sense. But then they'll criticize me and New Breed by saying we're inviting all these people that are of the world to be a part of a community so they could live in sin, but yet all the people of Straitway claim they following the commandments, but they all need deliverance from demons. You tell me. Let's get back to the tapes.
If I don't listen to this guy, if I don't stick this course the way he's putting it out there, you know, I'm going to hell.
That's what they do to you. If you don't follow what they do, they'll tell you you're going to hell. The Most High not dealing with you no more, and they'll release curses on you. This is what Straitway cult does to anybody. Anybody that criticized the ministry, you will be cursed by P. Diddy Dowell. He will release curses on you. He'll do spells on you. He'll have all of his minions make videos about you, and they will slander your name out and cast you out as a demon, a vagabond.
And he does tell you they'll send curses out. I know the exact curses they read out of Psalms on people. They get dirty. They get real dirty when you don't agree with them or try to expose them. Yeah? So, yeah, I'll get back at you in a minute. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. Had to chase a toddler. So yeah, before I get too far back into this whole story, man, I want to address this cat named Ron. He's this white dude from Canada. What's he called? He has his name's Pastor Ron, Cross and Nail Ministries or something, man. This dude's been on YouTube for years, bro, like obsessing with all different kinds of brothers, bro. All the pastors, the elders acting like he's had this crazy involvement in this ministry over the years, bro, right? Like he's all up in it. Yo, this guy is a high-level schizophrenic where it got to the point where his own mom had to lock him up in a facility because he had pictures all over his walls and all over his computer, man, of certain sisters in this ministry, which he stalked.
Wow, wow, wow. Ain't that amazing? Let me see. Victor says the background music is killing me. Okay, I'll take care of that real quick. Let's pack you up. Get you up on out of here. Hope that helps you out. Now we can get back to the tapes, right? Let's get back to the tapes.
He actually came down to the land before in Tennessee and was chased off there by the brethren. Well, it didn't go down like that. As a matter of fact, pastor allowed him to come there. And upon arriving, he caused so much controversy because he was already known for obsessing over this sister and kind of stalking her.
Are y'all listening to what's going on? A man who is obsessing over women, stalking women, have their photos all over the wall, got to the ministry. Make it make sense, y'all. Let's get back to the tapes.
That the family of this sister who also went there, her mother and stepdad and brother, her sister actually lives on the land, married to another brother. He basically left the land and disappeared off the land. And after finding out that pastor allowed this guy to come to the land, this whole family left the ministry, discluding the sister, the certain sister. She hung around for a while under Dowell's influence, heavy influence. Yeah, this guy Ron, the schizophrenic Ron, who's always posting up videos constantly, calling me Lustin' Dustin. Yo, man, I got so many messages from this guy on my Facebook, impersonating names, acting like he's other people, always asking me these grimy, slimy ass weird questions, bro. Yo, Brad, I really hope I never run into you, man. With your little cleft lip and your little lisp and your little retarded ass. That man, like, man, these weird religious church weirdos out here don't realize there's real men out here, bro, that are gonna deal with you a certain kind of way, bro. Like, it really got to stop. A lot of them real lucky Eric didn't come up in there, man, with some force. Just saying, bro. People out here messing around, they don't know.
And this is what happens with a lot of these cults, man. Y'all are here doing dirt to a lot of these men. Y'all don't even know their background. Y'all don't even know what they're capable of. A lot of these guys, you don't even realize what you're getting yourself into. I mean, imagine having your wife taken away from you by the pastor. Imagine being done dirty by these ministries, and then they mock you and laugh at you, cast you out as a demon. It'll do something to you. It'll make you feel some type of way. I mean, this brother here haven't made a video in over, like, I think he said 10 years. You know what I mean? I think his name is Hayes something. I'm not sure, but I believe it's Hayes. And for 10 years, like 9-10 years, he ain't say not one word. And I believe when he did his video, that's when I was pretty much on my way to North Carolina. I didn't have no time to pretty much go live. I mean, I could have, but not without the setup the way I need to do it. I need to do my live streams like this. This is how they're effective, not by just going live on a phone, and I can't really show the footage, and I can't really go to work the way I need to. But anyway, let's get back to the tapes.
They just don't know. Yo, I gotta call out this Ron dude, bro, for obsessing over me, constantly sticking his nose in all kinds of weird business, and you know, for the most part, he's ignored. People really just don't pay attention to him. He don't matter, man. He's a nutcase, man. It's not hard to figure out. You listen to him, and it's like, bro, no one knows what you're talking about, man. And no one cares.
And I remember when he was in the live chat, you know what I'm saying? I thought that, you know, I'm just being truthful. I thought that he wasn't going to make no video. And then, lo and behold, he made a video. And when I saw the video, I was like, whoa. Because he's the one who first revealed that there's a grave site right next to P. Diddy Dowell's house. Now, I'm trying to figure out how in the world do you sleep at night? knowing that there's dead folk underground right next door to your house. What kind of creepy stuff is that? I mean, are there any missing people that been the Straitway and sacrifices and rituals may have been done and they're underground and nobody knows where they at? Somebody need to get involved and find out what's going on with these bodies that are at Straitway. I mean, do anybody even know that these people are dead? What's going on at Straitway? I'm just asking the questions. I mean, I didn't know you can have a burial site right next to your house. Maybe that's something that goes on in Tennessee. I don't know. I mean, does any of this stuff get accounted for? Do you call the state? How does this work? I mean, are they doing ritual sacrifices and blood sacrifices on the land, in the bushes, behind the trees? Like, what's really going on? How many people have lost their lives at Straitway? Come on now. We need those answers. You know, because I know there are people at Straitway that are being done dirty right now. You got to reach out. You know, send me a message on Instagram. You know, tell me your story. We'll put the story out there. You got a video that you want to make the video. We're going to put it out there. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty so that the public can know what's going on, because there's a lot of devilish activity going on at Straitway. And the public need to know this, because the last thing I want is for you folks to get suckered in to being a part of some sort of ministry that is doing people dirty. Imagine a man served at Straitway for over 14 years of his life. And the pastor, because he was criticized, because this man criticized the pastor, told the pastor what he felt, the man was kicked out of the assembly and then slandered all on social media, all because he had his own thought about what the pastor was doing. So you tell me, imagine you're a newcomer to Straitway and you have an opinion about Pastor P.Diddy Dowell. You ain't gonna last in the church. They're gonna kick you out. They're gonna make videos about you, and they're gonna fuck your wife. That's what they're gonna do. It happened to brother Jamie. They took his wife. It happened to brother Eric. They took his wife. And you had other brothers that lost their wife. But we got other stories too. We're getting a lot of information. There's a lot of things going on. I'm also hearing word, this is just word, that there's another wife that's being hidden in the shadows. I got ears on the ground over there at Straitway. In case you're listening, P. Diddy Dowell, got a couple of people. Got a lot of eyes, a lot of ears on the land, taking notes. Told you, we're not playing checkers. We're playing chess. And right now we know that you use witchcraft as one of your weapons to control the people. You use spells, and you go to witch doctors, and you have various books that you use to keep the people under mind control. What is that called? That MK Ultra type stuff? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy Dowell is an agent, a military agent who was sent on a mission to pose in an operation under the guise of being an Israelite to infiltrate the community in order to deceive people, to cause divisions, to cause fights, and everything you know. Because this is the same guy that told you folks you need to go out there and purchase land, build community, do this and that. And then when me and brother New Breed link up with brother Uwitazat and the land purchaser, brother Mike, and we talk about the land and growth and all these other things, what did P. Diddy Dowell do? He took it to social media to basically say that we don't know what we're doing, and basically wished death on us by saying all of our endeavors with the land will fail in 3 years. That's what he said. Now, who would do such a thing like that? A devil, a cult leader who want to be in competition with other men in their small beginnings. And then to add insult to injury, this demon, P.Diddy Dowell, uploads a video talking about Straitway's small beginnings. Clearly, he's not humble, because if he was, he would have remembered his small beginnings. Woe be unto you hypocrites. Woe be unto you hypocrites for judging people in their small beginnings and have the nerve to post a video about yours. Woe be unto you. People are leaving Straitway because it's a cult. It's cursed because of sin, the sin of adultery, gross sin. Elder Becca, where you at? You took Jamie's wife. You took that man's wife in your bed. You put meat inside of her, heavy meat, deep. Another man's wife. Where are you to come forward and share your side of the story? Where are you, Elder Becca? Come forth and speak. You took that man's wife. You had it planned the whole time. Who are you, Elder Becca? Because I don't hear you speaking. Maybe you're the handler of P.Diddy Dowell. Maybe you are a descendant of R.G. Stair. How come Elder Becca ain't on camera? We don't hear him talking at all. Isn't that amazing? Let's get back to the tapes.
So anyway, yeah, Ron Wigabogum, Wackenbockum, Mr. Pastor Ron, Straight Line Ministries, all these weird names you done came out me with, bro. Just be careful, bro. Be careful. Because just because you crazy, it doesn't disclude what you're doing, man. And you need to be put on blast. You're ridiculous. Shut up. So, anyway, back to my visits at Straitway. Man, I don't even know where to begin with some of this stuff, man, because it's heavy. You know, when you get there, you're taught that, you know, there was a point where I was digitally working to get rid of, like, my social security number, basically become sovereign. You find out quick there that many of the children being born on the land there don't have birth certificates, no social security numbers.
Are y'all listening to the tapes? I mean, how do you explain this? I mean, somebody came into the chat talking about, well, you don't need a driver's license to do X, Y, and Z. You don't need this and that. Well, how do you even have an ID? How do you pay taxes? How do you get a job? You don't got a birth certificate and no social security number. Please explain to me, how do you do that? Why would a pastor not want children to have these basic items? Why? Because he want to control your children. Think about this. It's not you making the decision to do this. It's P.Diddy Dowell who makes the decision that when you get, you know, like, bring forth children on that land, oh, we're not going to do it that way. This is what cults do. This is sick. Back to the tapes.
And I know, Pastor Dow, you got your whole rhetoric down, your little pitch and spiel down real good about why you think it's just so good to live a certain kind of way, even though, man, you ain't got nothing to fall back on there, man. Ringo pointed it out pretty good. As these men and women become older and they get tossed out into uncertainty, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. So you're really good at ruining people's lives, man. Steering people into these really weird situations, man, that just don't make sense to me.
Ruining people's lives. That's exactly what Straitway do.
But I hear you still want to punch me in the face, though, Pastor, huh?
Interesting. So P.Diddy Dowell wanted to punch this brother in his face. Let's hear it.
Oh, man, shit like that excites me. Yeah, but I'm glad I got away from the place. I probably should have came out a lot longer ago, speaking about a lot of the realities on this land. Man, you'll get snitched on fast there.
Did you just hear that? You'll get snitched on fast at Straitway.
So you got to conduct yourself real careful, man. Real careful. Like the one sister was saying, when you get there, you know, deliverance is very, man, they take it serious. You act like...
Carl, are you an agent? Because everything you say is like in defense of P. Diddy Dowell. You got to be an agent. Let's get back to the tapes.
They act like if you're not getting regular deliverance and there's something wrong with you, and they have to keep an eye on you, like even more so. So the more deliverance you go get, you go and, you know, grab up a couple brothers you trust, and you confine in them all your woes and your thoughts and what you perceive to be sinning. And they definitely gather that intel and use it against you. It all gets back to Pastor Dow. And you ain't no pastor, bro. You a punk, man. You a grimy ass, low level cult leader, bro. Like you ain't even doing it right. But a big group of us have found out why, though. We'll see how much longer that lasts for. It's one of them things that's hard to talk about, because as soon as you start saying words like agent, implant, MK Ultra, people look at you weird, man, because not a lot of people have a lot of background knowledge or you know, study in that kind of area. And once you start meeting a lot of people in these groups, it's surprising where some of them have been, what some of them know. Yeah, you'll learn quick if you're paying attention. So yeah, other than that, man, like, if I feel the need to, like, come on Ringo and elaborate a little bit more on some of the stuff, I've been dropping a lot of stuff in the comments the last few nights on his chats, because, you know, it's now got my interest, and I've been thinking about stuff and remembering stuff, man. So yeah, however I'm needed, you know, I'm fixing to be there for it. So probably not the last you're gonna hear from me. Can't tell you when, where, or how, but it's probably gonna happen. I got to get back to my family life. I'm trying not to waste too much time on this, or really get too involved, because it all really just is what it is, and what it is a matter of goddamn time before you're seeing something weird happening on the news about that place. And Dal, you can come out all you want, try to slander people, defame, deflect. You do it good, man. You look people right in the eye and you'll run your mouth. That's all you're doing, man. Saving face for the little bit of time you got left. Trying to have these people respect you down to the last moment, man, before the rug is just pulled out from underneath your feet. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen, little man. Yep. And you're going to remember my name. And I ain't going to let you forget it either. Matter of fact, when you locked up, I might just come visit you. Yeah. I got a lot of audacity. Yep. So, I'm going to get back. if I think of anything else, I know I wrote some stuff down. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. And then I ain't got no reason to boast or to speak ill will on nobody, and I definitely don't have it in me to bear false witness. So all I know is what I dealt with, and my ass was in reality the whole time about it. You know, I wasn't underneath no spell. So yeah. All them curses you all sent on me, I don't think work very well. So yeah, peace out, Israel. I'll be seeing y'all.
There you go, people. Pastor of adultery, the demon, P.Diddy Dowell. What a shame. All right. P.Diddy Dowell once again exposed the right way. Because what he's trying to do is distract you with a bunch of nonsense and petty BS about new breed and Ringo's wickedness exposed. Fam, you're not built to expose anyone when you're in adultery. What I'm doing is called expose. Because I bring out tapes, receipts, and receipts don't lie. I don't make stuff up. I just play the tape in its entirety. Not a piece, not a snippet, the whole tape. So the people can hear the truth. And based on the tapes, you dabble in witchcraft, spell books. You bury people by your house. You take other men's wives. You were mentored by R.G. Stair, a very wicked man in whom was your pastor. And I'm also under the impression that you inherited Straitway, which means you ain't build anything. You got an inheritance, allegedly, through your connection with R.G. Stair. It's no wonder your ministry is ran the same exact way. Isn't that amazing? Is this the type of community you folks want to be a part of? I mean, do you want to be a part of a community where the pastor is sleeping with another man's wife? These are 100% facts. This is not slander. This is not hearsay. This is not bochinche, gossip, whatever you want to call it. These are facts. I've made multiple videos. I've lost count. I lost count on the amount of videos I've made thus far. I provided nothing but evidence, nothing but the facts, right from people's mouths. And up to now, P.Diddy Dowell is in denial. He believed that he done no wrong. So the question you have is, are you trying to be a part of a community that is ran by an adulterer, a man who took in a harlot for a wife? A ministry where they take other men's wives and defile them and turn these women against their previous husband, turn daughters against their fathers. This is what P.Diddy Dowell did. He turned Erica, who is Mr. Gonzalez's biological daughter. P.Diddy Dowell turned Erica against her own father. And she kept the kids that she had away from her biological father, which means he never even seen them or met them. Yet the Bible says to honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long. But she already broke that commandment. So if P. Diddy Dowell is really a man of Yah, how come he is allowing this to take place on his watch? It's because it's not about the Most High. It's about him taking another man's wife. Now think about this, ladies and gentlemen. P. Diddy Dowell took Mr. Gonzalez's wife even before she got the divorce. Not saying that after the divorce, it's okay for him to be with her, because he's still not legally, he don't have legal grounds according to the Bible to be with another man's wife. But even before the divorce was finalized, he was already sleeping with her. Do you not understand that? Another gentleman caught P. Diddy Dowell in a room getting his feet massaged by this woman. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to the tapes, because the tapes don't lie.
Read.
Hold on, wait, wrong tape. Here we go. Let's get to this.
I was there when there was the controversy of whether
He was there. That's what he said, right? He was there.
I was there when there was the controversy.
When there was a controversy about who? Nelly and P. Diddy Dowell.
I was there when there was the controversy of whether or not she was going to be with Pastor Dowell or not. I was there when things weren't, like literally finalized. I stayed in Pastor Dowell's house twice. Opened up one door and he's getting his feet rubbed by Sister Nelly.
Wow. Wow.
Go figure.
Go figure.
All right. He's got it going on, but that's his personal business. But now it's like, hey, it's all out there now. So, it's all out there now. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. But I've been so quiet. I haven't said nothing. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, I need to call out evil and wickedness for what it is.
Wow. Now check this part out, fam. Check it out.
But I was present for, it was at the time, Brother Mitchell and Sister Erica's wedding. I was completely aware of the fact that, from what we were being told, her father was not present. For whatever reason, we were told that that they were abandoned, and then so it defaulted to Pastor Dowell taking them under his wing.
Do you see that? The people were told that Mr. Gonzalez abandoned his family, and therefore Diddy Dowell took her in and the daughter in his house. This is what the people of Straitway were told to justify his actions.
And so when I say them, I'm talking about the children and Sister Nelly under his wing at the time. There was a big hush-hush about the fact that he had taken her.
A big hush-hush. This is what P. Diddy Dowell did. He couldn't wait to take Nelly as his wife. Let's go.
Because there was a lot of legal things that still had to be done in the court that had not been done.
That had not been done, but he was already sleeping with her at the time.
I'm assuming now that the marriage had not been fully dissolved, according to the Gentile marriage system, which I understand that actual Israelites, actual Jews, don't honor that system. But at any rate, when you still believe that the Jesus, the Messiah of the New Testament, is God, then you're not. What are you? You might as well be a Gentile. And it seems that anybody who was cut off from Straitway is never given the time of day to do such thing. Whether it's Brother Jamie, whether it's Brother Rufus, whether it's Sister Rainey and her husband, whether it's this brother, that brother, Brother Austin, this, it's always a character assassination. And I hadn't made one video in near 10 years.
Now notice that he haven't made no videos in over 10 years. The other brother haven't made no videos in over 10 years. And yet, if you think about all the different people he mentioned, these are all people that were literally kicked out of the ministry. They were done dirty. They had videos made about them to slander their names. Anybody that criticized or questioned the authority of the cult of Straitway were brutalized publicly and made to look like they're crazy.
Not one disparaging this man's character in any way, because ultimately the reason I left was a doctrinal issue, right? His personal matters with that were not any of my business. I'm like, and I told him straight up, and I told a lot of people that straight. I have never seen anybody do polygyny according to the Torah. God willing, soon I will show y'all how to do it that way. At least in a theoretical and an academic sense first. But I haven't seen anybody physically do it, and they're for sure ain't doing it according to the Torah at Straitway.
Of course, the people at Straitway are not practicing polygyny according to the Bible. They're not, because they're busy taking other men's wives. That's what they're doing.
In any way, shape, or form. There's no ketubot in place. Dowries aren't, people don't know what dowries are, apparently. Dowries go to the bride, right? The bride price, rather, goes to the father. Dowry is something that goes with the bride, so she's able to sustain herself in some sort of way. The ketubah is a situation where if she were to leave, she is sustained in some way. So dowry is on the front end, ketubah is on the back end, right? Bride price to the father. That's the bride price.
But when it comes to the situation with Erica, she was pretty much sold off to Mitchell for $100,000, pretty much, or if not more. And the father, Mr. Gonzalez, didn't see not one dime. Think about that now. Dowell took Nellie as his wife to gain access to the virgin daughter of Mr. Gonzalez, just so that one of the brothers at Straitway can give him the dowry so he can use the $100,000 to put towards the new house that he's building. What a shame. Because where else is the money coming from? It's coming from all of those dowries, fam. Let's get back to the tapes. Let's go.
There's a lot of money involved here. There's a lot of sustenance. There's a lot of protection for women when we talk about whether it's a single marriage or multiple marriages. At the beginning of my research, I was tuned into Ringo TV. I was also tuned into as many people as I could concerning this particular subject. Went off into my own halakhic study of Hebraic law on the matter, because I guarantee you, most people don't know the first thing about whether it's multiple wives, concubines, how this actually works.
If you're in the building, click that like button. We got 700 people in the building, only 400 likes. Let's get them likes to 1,000. Let's go.
And according to the Torah, and all the different ins and outs and all the exceptions and the things that you might miss because you didn't read this verse over here in Devarim, or you didn't read that verse, or you took this out of context in Shemot, whatever it might be. But
on the Ringo TV Raw channel, we only got 37 likes. You got 200 people viewing. The way you click the like button on the Ringo TV Raw channel, because it's most likely in the YouTube Shorts feed, on your cell phone, on the top right corner, you see 3 dots. Click on that right there, and you'll see a little menu, and you'll be able to click the like button. Let's get them likes up. Let's go, fam. Let's go.
I don't think that the accusations against Pastor Dowell, the pastor according to Jeremiah 23:1, I don't think that the allegations necessarily are polygyny's fault in any way, shape, or form. That marriage is marriage. There are messy forms of marriage, and this is one of them. And if, according to the world standard, things had not been finalized, right, then it was wrong on the front end, right? It was done incorrectly on the front end of that second marriage, and everything points to that being the case, that it was done incorrectly to begin with. And if you start wrong, you're going to end wrong. The other thing that really irked me.
Listen to this section here, fam. What he's going to talk about here is going to really, make you fall out of your chair, because what he's going to go into is how the men of Straitway think towards other men wives. Listen to this.
About Straitway, and this is the thing that is permeating through the airwaves and YouTube and cyberspace right now, is this proclivity to looking at another man's wife, okay? And if we were really to take the laws of modesty seriously as were intended, there'd be no shaking no other man's wife's hand. There'd be no hugging no other man's wife. There'd be no sitting down next, no talking to anybody else's wife. If we were to take it seriously, which I do now, obviously, but I was told by one or two brothers, hey, if anything ever happens to you, man, your wife will be very well taken care of, bro. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Well, thanks. Appreciate that.
Notice what he's doing. He's basically saying that the men of Straitway would look at you and he would overhear these conversations of, yo, brother, man, if anything happened to you, I'm going to take care of your wife. Bro, your wife, if anything happened to you, bro, anything, I'm going to take care of your wife. I'm telling you, bro. And when they tell you this, they licking their lips the whole time because they can't wait to sleep with your woman. That's what they do.
I'm kind of naive in the thing, because I'm on a Bible high. I'm more on a spiritual high, so I'm not really like sweating like this weird kind of talk. And yeah, when polygyny began to be taught, I was interested for sure. My wife had our little bouts back and forth, but after that, hey, see it, no issue, right? But the idea that someone could come in, be talking to you, checking out your wife, et cetera. I'm like, what? It just irked me so weirdly, and I'm like, why are y'all doing that? Why y'all, talking about so-and-so's wife like that?
This is what they do, people. They always want your wife. This is what happens. P.Diddy Dowell is a pastor that is full of adultery. He have committed a great sin. He's living in sin right now. He refused to repent. We've made multiple live streams dissecting all of the content. We've examined all the witnesses. We shared all the testimony regarding the case. And based on all the testimony of everyone, it is 100% certain and clear, based on the Bible, that P. Diddy Dowell is currently in adultery. And there's no way around it. Various other men of Yah that is on social media also confirm and know this to be true. And up to now, Diddy Dowell have not repented. He have not even responded to any of the content I made regarding his sin, which shows he's defiant and believed that he is above reproach. In his eyes, no one can judge him but the Most High, which is the spirit of the Antichrist, which means that he's a hypocrite, because it's okay for him to sin and call out sin, but if he sinned, none of us can call out his sin. It's amazing. But this is what social media do here. You understand? This is what social media do. And this is why we have to do these videos, to make sense of this type of stuff. And anyone who says that I'm lying or I'm not telling the truth, we just packing you up and get you up on out of here. You don't even deserve to be here. I don't got time for those type of insults. If you watch the content, you would know better to say that. All right? We don't got time to entertain trolls or anyone here that is just making up stuff as they go. I put out too many hours, too much truth for people to be coming here brainless and don't even know what they're talking about. All you got to do is just go look at the live streams. We've made multiple live streams about this case. Multiple. And we've uncovered all of the truth. And now we have more. And we will continue to bring out more. I'm not done. This is serious business with me. A man is not supposed to be a pastor if he's in adultery. He's supposed to step down from the ministry. If a man is in adultery, he's supposed to step down from the ministry. He's not fit to lead the church. The Bible speaks of that regarding the bishop. If a man is unable to lead his own house, how can he lead the church? Do you understand? He can't be greedy for filthy lucre. He can't be a brawler. Can't be arrogant. You understand? P.Diddy Dowell violated all the criteria to be a leader in the church. He needed to step down. But see, how can he step down when he's in control? Which mean all of the other elders and pastors that are under him, they don't got no power. They can't tell P. Diddy Dowell nothing. That just goes to show he's above reproach. Anytime you have a man that has no one to answer to, you're in a cult. Anytime you have a pastor that is so high, you cannot tell him he's wrong, or if you criticize him, the whole church will hate you, you're in a cult. So, hey. We're going to get up on out of here. Give us some shout outs on this Cash App for those that support it. Let me try to recap for those that supported a few days ago as well. Let me see. I remember where we were at. I think it was up to, let me see. Oh, okay. All right. Shout out to Brother David. Uncle, appreciate you. Detroit Go-Getter. Revolutionary Loss, appreciate you. Eric, salute for the support. There's another Eric. This is a different Eric. Shout out to you as well for the support. All right. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Uncle again, and also Detroit Go-Getter, 3-time support. Appreciate you. And shout out to V Dub Man for the last contribution he gave in the other streams, and also for this stream right here. Appreciate you. All right. And shout out to Yaden for the support. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a choice. Do you want to be a part of a cult that take other men's wives, use witchcraft, sorcery, indulge in the dark arts of witches, warlocks, while disguising and masquerading themselves as a loving community that build houses from scratch, that mock other brothers for their initiatives, men who are full of the devil, who are operating in competitive jealousy because other men are focused on land and community and so on and so forth. Would you want to join a community like that, where you are forced to give your paycheck? Understand that if you visit Straitway right now and you decide that you want to go over there to be a part of their community, you must give them 10% of all your income plus your paychecks. I've already covered all the tapes. I've already brought it all out. Men have to give P.Diddy Dowell their paychecks. This is what they got to do. You know? I mean, if I can find some of that footage right now, I'll play it for you. Where literally you had to give men their paychecks. You even have situations where virgins are being sold on the auction block. That's right. We covered all of these different tapes. Let me see if I can pull up some of this information while we're here. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see. Is this one of them? This is the auction. This is the auction block. Let me see if this is it. I think this is it. Auction block video. Yeah. Let me put this on here. Hold on.
How old are you?
Okay.
21, how old are you? 21, how old are you? 19, how old are you? 19, 21, 21, 19. 21, 21, 19. You know what the best they can do in this world today? Can you cook? Can you clean? Can you cook? Can you clean? They're fertile myrtles. Good field.
Wow.
So that's the reason why this land commands a price. There's value in them. Including new daughters of Zion that come to the ministry. So you getting ready to buy value. You getting ready to buy somebody that comes already.
You're getting ready to buy somebody that comes already. Daughters of Zion being sold on the auction block at the Church of Straitway Cult. Let's go.
Already. Right out the package.
Right out the package.
Right out the package. Ready for marriage.
Blessings, y'all.
Now, this is Brother Jamie's testimony story. Check it out a little bit. Let's look at this a little bit. Since we have everybody here, let's go.
Well, I decided to do another video because once I seen Ringo's, how he broke down my testimony, and I think there's some unanswered questions, and the ending of my story as well. I know it was hard to remember everything, you know, so like I said, I might forget some of the stuff that I wanted to say and all that, So,
And also, those that are on the Ringo TV Raw channel, if you want to see the footage that we're reviewing, you're probably wondering, like, what am I looking at? What am I listening to? You have to go to the Ringo TV Reactions channel because we're streaming simultaneously on 2 channels at the same time.
I wanted to explain the rest of it, I guess, because there's a little bit more that was left out on my part. And there wasn't no clarification of what happened to my wife or anything like that. And I wasn't there no more. So that's why I didn't really say anything, because I figured somebody else would. So I'm going to tell you the part that I know, what my daughter told me and my ex-wife, and what happened after I left too. There was a little bit I left about that. So after I left, I'm going to kind of get back to where I left off in the other video. After that brother told me that, and I figured everything out, blah blah blah. So I started trying to get my life to, this wasn't shortly after. I got divorce papers in the mail at my daughter's house. This was from Straitway. It was sent from Heather, but you could see how detailed and what it all is and said. You could tell who did it.
It was sent from Straitway. Straitway coerced his wife into divorcing him, sending him divorce papers.
Heather just wasn't going to do all. She didn't know how to do all that like it was. Anyways, so on these divorce papers, it said that I wouldn't go after her for any type of child support, this or that, and they wanted me to sign these. I'm like, I ain't signing shit. Sorry, but I ain't signing shit. No. And she's trying to give me divorce papers. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha there. So I didn't sign no papers. Nothing. So what they did was, by law, you can act like you can't find the person. So you can submit like a thing in the newspaper or something. And if they don't respond, like a missing person, and if they don't respond, she has legal right to divorce me without me even signing anything.
Wow, that's how they got rid of him. They put out a missing thing in the paper. He didn't respond to it. So legally, it's like, okay, he's not around. I could get divorced. That's exactly how P. Diddy Dowell was able to get rid of him so that Elder Becca could take Jamie's wife.
I never signed a paper ever. One paper. Never with our divorce. But we got divorced. That's how they did it. They did that just like that. That's
all of this, the cult of Straitway did to this brother right here. Took his wife, destroyed his family, caused him pain and suffering. This is what they did to him.
how they divorced us.
And this guy is a skilled trades guy. If you look at his channel and you look at the way he worked, he's a skilled trades guy. He got a lot of skills. P. Diddy Dowell basically used him for his expertise. And this is what P. Diddy Dowell does with all of the men of Straitway. He get all of this work, these workers with skilled trades, and use them as laborers to build his kingdom. Let's go.
So yeah. And I didn't know we were divorced. I don't know. It was a while before I found out, actually. It was like, I'm not sure the time, but it was like 9-12 months. It was almost a year or something. It might even been over a year.
Which mean he didn't even know that he was divorced. He just probably figured, hey, me and my wife is separated. We're not here. We're not together. Whatever the case is, he didn't even know. But the plan was to get her legally divorced from him so that the other dude could take her as a wife. This is what cults do. Let's go.
Before I actually found out we were divorced, I had no clue because I never got anything about it. Nothing. The only thing I ever got was that paper that they sent me that they wanted me to sign, basically clearing all my rights because Dow didn't want to give up no money. Because after I left, what I was told was she went back to Tennessee. I'm not sure how long she was there. I thought they said it was like a couple weeks, but I'm not sure. I don't know because, like I said, I wasn't there. So that's why I didn't speak on it, because I don't know. But,
Listen to this, people. Pay attention. Let's go.
guess what else? Guess what else I got to say? And I'm not trying to dog her in any way at all on any of this, because I understand the manipulation she was under. I don't agree with what her actions were, but I understand it, and it's forgivable, so I understand. So when I said we were friends, because she's the mother of my children, I still honor that. You get it? I mean, but like I said, it's different because basically they convinced her to be with an elder bear. Yeah. The elder's wife, she was convincing her, and I'm sure the other two Tweety birds that already been in the whole situation the whole time. So, the pastor and the head elder.
There you go. Elder Becker on the left side of the screen. He just looks like a dirty person, a very dirty, wicked individual. He took Jamie's wife after P.Diddy Dowell coerced her into divorcing Jamie for no reason. You understand? Matter of fact, there was a reason, but it wasn't any biblical reason. They created a scenario by, let me just break it down for those of you that weren't there, you don't understand. Basically, Nellie, the wife of Eric Gonzalez, right? She was on the land at Straitway, and she was in the process of divorcing Mr. Gonzalez. P.Diddy Dowell did a topic on polygyny. And being that Jamie was, I guess, new in the faith, didn't understand a lot of the stuff, he asked the ladies of the ministry, what are your thoughts about polygyny in terms of a man having more than one wife? He brought this question to 4 different women. Out of the 4, one of them was Nellie, who was the wife of Mr. Gonzalez. Once he asked her the question, she went and ran to P.Diddy Dowell, told him. And then once that happened, all hell came against Brother Jamie. Nellie was getting information and bringing it back to Diddy Dowell about how Jamie was pretty much trying to hit on her in terms of trying to see, well, maybe she want to be my wife. So what happened was, one day, Nellie walked into, I guess, a trailer or some house or wherever Jamie and his wife was staying, and walked in there and basically said the following, something along the lines of, we can't do this no more. I just can't. She's my friend. And then she walked out of the trailer while his wife was standing right there. So how does that look? It looked like he's messing around with her on the low. So basically what P. Diddy Dowell did is put the battery in her back that her husband was messing around with her friend, because word on the street, Nellie and Heather were good friends. So the entire time, everyone was suspicious about Jamie speaking to a married woman. That's the narrative they spun, that here you have this guy trying to hit on a married woman, when the whole time P. Diddy Dowell was fucking her. The whole time, listen, guys, the whole time, Nelly was there in preparation to divorce Eric Gonzalez. Diddy Dowell was already sleeping with her. And once he heard that Jamie asked her the question, he got jealous. He began to get defensive and made his stay at Straitway a living hell. And due to that, they coerced the wife into divorcing Jamie on grounds of possibly adultery, or he's trying to mess with a married woman, something. They just made her divorce him to ruin his relationship with his wife, right? And then once that happened, she stayed, he left Straitway, and his wife stayed there and got with Elder Becker. This is what Straitway does, people. This is why I'm showing you the receipts, so you can see I'm not just making stuff up. When I make videos and I talk about things, I bring out the facts. I don't make stuff up. Let's get back to the tapes.
I thought the people should know that part too, because that was something that I didn't really know what happened. I do because they both told me. This came from my daughter and Heather. Heather lives with my daughter right now still.
Notice what he said. This information came from Heather and his daughter, confirming what took place.
Like I said, I'll say hi, stuff like that, you know, but it's not like we're, you know what I'm saying? I don't hold no ill will, no. But it is what it is, you know? So I figured that people should know that part, how it actually, what happened, because there's a little bit more there than just Dowell as well. And I don't know who else is doing it, but if them two are doing it, it's trickling down, I guaranteed.
Which mean all of the men at Straitway are sleeping around with other men's wives. This is what's going on, fam. People keep getting mad at me like I'm just making stuff up. I'm showing y'all evidence. I'm showing y'all nothing but tapes. How many witnesses have I literally brought forth to these YouTube streets to show y'all?
Guaranteed it's trickling down. Because it's okay in their eyes. It's a bunch of bullshit in my eyes. So if you're there, you better watch your wife. And I suggest you leave. And I suggest you not fellowship with them people no more. Because that leader, and obviously the elders,
they after your wives, fam. This is what they do. How many guys we gonna show you where they have these stories of their wives getting taken, fam? Come on now.
They're going after your wives. I'm telling you. I'm not lying. They are going after your wives. So, I'm not trying to make this all day long. I just wanted to finish the rest of my testimony and the journey. And this is a big part that I should have said the first time. But I was trying to keep it short, and I didn't really... It's hard to remember everything, you know. But yeah, so Ringo, I hope you play this, because this is the rest of it, and the people need to hear this part too, because it's very important that they hear this too. That's why I came back. Like I said, I'm not trying to start no trouble, but if we're talking about the truth, let's bring the truth out. Let's not hide it or pretend we didn't see it the first time. Bullshit. Yes, I did. I seen it the first time, and I don't play no more about that. Not at all. All of my eyes are open. All of them. I see very clear. My bullshit detector's on point. Believe that. Believe that. I see clear. Anyways, thank you again, because because I'm pretty sure you're going to play this, and I hope you do. But thank you very much. Thank you. Much love, brother. Much love. Peace.
And see, ladies and gentlemen, Elder Becker committed adultery with Jamie's wife at Straitway Community, and Pastor Dowell allowed it. Because this is what they do. This is what they do at Straitway. And this is something that we have to make sure that the public understand, that when you deal with pastors that are committing adultery, you have to understand not to allow them to overshadow or bury this type of evil by boasting about their community in terms of what they built with their hands and always doing videos. Hey, these hands are working and this is that. All of that type of stuff is to cover their sin, to get your eyes to focus on some sort of competition. Like, well, Straitway have all of this property they built. Ringo and Newbury didn't build anything. Let me tell you something, people. Listen to me very carefully. I'm not building any houses. I'm not doing that. I'll pay somebody to do that. Do you understand? So this is not about me trying to compete with some other men about who's building this and building that. That's what they want to do. They want to get you distracted with this, who's building this and building that. I'm not building anything. Do you understand? Somebody else will build that. I just pay. I know what I want. It's like if I want a custom design shirt, a custom design, some mods on a car or whatever the case is, you pay for those services. If they want to sit in the hot sun building houses, that's their prerogative. I don't really care. I'm not doing that. I got to focus on making money. Think about that. All of the men that come to Straitway, they're slaves. They're forced to go out there and labor. Remember, all of the men that were at Straitway were helping to build Straitway in some shape or form before they had a falling out and left or got kicked out. Brother Jamie he's a skilled trades guy. So he was used for a while to build up the ministry in terms of doing construction work. And this is what they do. They use people that have these trades, and P. Diddy Dowell takes all the credit. That's right, free labor. Free labor. So while he's boasting about building, he ain't doing nothing. I mean, even Brother Jamie confirmed that P. Diddy Dowell don't build anything. He comes out, stands at the site where everybody's doing the construction, and he'll hold up his camera and do a little YouTube video, and then he go right back into the tent and stay and hide while everybody else is in the hot sun, working all day. And he get the credit. I've already exposed the fact that P. Diddy Dowell and them is building a mega mansion. That's right. Let me see if I can find that. I don't even know if I still got it, but let me see if I can find it for you. I'm not sure if I have it here. Hold on a second. I know I did a video on it. I probably have it on this hard drive. If I do, I'll be able to run into it. I think it's on this drive though. If it's not on this drive, then it's probably on the desktop. I don't see it because I would show it to you. It's probably on the desktop because I would have ran into it already. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. Let me see if it's on desktop. I mean, I already did a video about it. All you got to do is just look through the videos and you'll probably most likely find it. But I'm kind of just looking to see. It's probably on the desktop. Let me double check. Because I know I did a video. Got to clean up this desktop. It's filled with a bunch of junk. See. I don't think it's here. I don't think so. But it probably might be. Let me see. Probably might be. I don't see it. Nope. Nah. It's not here. Probably was on another hard drive. But nonetheless, all you got to do is just watch my videos and you'll find it. I mean, he made another video. I might do a video with that one where he was talking about the house. We have more videos to do because he did a lot of different videos. He uploaded a lot of videos. We pretty much got to cover all of them because we're not done with this work. Told you already, I'm not done. He thought it was done. He thought the smoke was cleared. No, it's not safe. Told you already. You're going to be exposed. Step down from the ministry. You're not fit to be no pastor. And nobody could care less about all of the houses and everything y'all built at Straitway. Nobody cares about that. At the end of the day, you're an adulterer. You're not fit to teach nobody anything. All right? You need to repent and get right with the Most High and stop deceiving the people into thinking that you're righteous when you're not. You have another man's wife in your possession. Elder Becker still haven't come forward to the public to confess his sin of sleeping with another man's wife in the heat of lust. So he needs to come forward too. And all the other men of Straitway that are in adultery right now, because if the pastor is in adultery, then that means that the men of Straitway are in adultery as well, because they're all doing the same thing. So ladies and gentlemen of the court of public opinion, would you want to live on the land of Straitway? Do you think that is a good place to be with you and your family after all the evidence we showed? Since P.Diddy Dowell want to throw shade at me and brother New Breed regarding land and this and that, would you folks want to move to Straitway to live under those kind of conditions of adultery, worried about men sleeping with your wives, witchcraft, spell books, sorcery, rituals, giving all your money and your paycheck away to a pastor? You got to tithe money. You can't have an opinion. At Straitway, you can't have your own opinion. You can't. You can't have your own opinion. Imagine you a grown man, you go to Straitway, you see something you don't like, you cannot have an opinion about the pastor. If you do, they kick you out and they'll fuck your wife. That's dirty. You could just only imagine how these brothers feel that had all this dirt done to them. Imagine getting kicked out the church and they sleeping with your wife. And at the same time, they're talking about how they following the Most High. They not following the Most High, man. They don't got no soul. They don't got no soul, man. And they'll sell your daughter. So if you go to Straitway and you got a virgin daughter, somebody's going to fuck your daughter. One of those men are going to take your daughter. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with y'all, man. There's no way to sugarcoat this. This is real talk. They'll sell your daughter. You know? And for all of those out there, tithing is not biblical in today's day. Tithes went to the Levite priests, and it was never money. Tithe was fruits, vegetation, grains, herbs, livestock. And the tithes did not come from everybody. It only came from those that had an abundance. The landowners, the herdsmen, the farmers, those are the ones who paid a tithe to the Levites because they had no inheritance. The pulpit pimping preachers of today, 99.9% of them are of the devil. They take these scriptures in terms of, can a man rob God? You have robbed me in tithes and offerings. Open up the windows of heaven and I'll pour out a blessing. This is what they do. But they'll tell you you're cursed with a curse. In other words, if I pay the tithe, then God will remove the curse. So most of you are paying your church money because in your mind, there's a curse that's on you. What kind of nonsense is that? He's not talking to you. He's talking to those landowners, herdsmen, and those folks that were required to pay that tithe. They didn't do it. So these wolves are basically trying to milk you out of all your money. And they've been doing it for a long time, making y'all feel guilty. Some of y'all been giving money to these churches, paying tithes, and you've been feeling guilty. You had bills to pay. You couldn't buy food for your kids. You couldn't buy furniture because you had to keep giving this damn pastor your money out of fear that God is going to curse you. I'm liberating you today. You don't got to pay no damn tithe to no damn pastor. He's robbing you. God don't need your money. God don't need your money. He don't need your money. Why do you think the Bible says, bring ye all the tithes to the storehouse? What do you think they were doing? Storing money? The storehouse was storing the food, the vegetation, the grain, the herbs. Even in the New Testament, we see scripture where it says, ye tithe mint. These are herbs and spices, not money. But these are hypocrites. Tithing never had nothing to do with money. Nothing to do with money. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when we don't read to understand. You got to read the Bible for yourself, not one scripture. Read the whole book so you can understand who he's talking to. Or else you're going to be deceived. See, the P.Diddy Dowells of the world cannot deal with guys like me because I'm able to uncover the demon that is in them. Do you understand? I mean, right now on his platform, he's there masquerading a debate. Oh, I want you, New Breed, Rufus, to do this. Come so that we can have a debate. Bruh, debate why you in adultery. Do that. Nobody don't got no time to be wasting their time with no devil who is out here committing gross adultery, unrepentant, defiant, and believe that he is above reproach. You're an evil man, and there is no way the Most High is with you. And if you think that your fruit is defined by building houses, think again, because the heathen has been building skyscrapers for many years, and they don't follow God. The greatest engineers of this world are responsible for building the skyscrapers we see in every single state across the United States, and they don't follow God. But yet they're talented and skilled workers, very intelligent and smart. So you don't define righteousness by building a community, because many have built communities and they don't serve God. So to all you folks that listen to P. Diddy Dowell when he says, you shall know them by their fruits, and you think fruits is defined by building a community, you are wrong. You have been deceived. You're not thinking. Look at New York City. All of the skyscrapers, the Freedom Tower, all of these different buildings. You think that was built by some guy keeping the commandments? No, the engineers behind these structures are just living in the world. Those are their fruits, right? No, that's their labor. When the Bible talks about you shall know the tree by its fruit, it's talking about fruits of righteousness, holiness, living according to the words of Yah. Has nothing to do with you building a house. You could build a house and be of the devil. Do you understand? You could build a house and be a demon. That does not define your fruit. True fruit is looking at a man committing adultery, sleeping with another man's wife. That's the fruit that the Bible speaks of. You shall know the tree by his fruit. He's an adulterer, a liar, a fornicator, a witch, a warlock. That is what he's doing. That's his fruit. You don't judge a man by fruit of righteousness based on him planting a garden. Anybody can plant a garden. A guy who lived the rainbow can plant a garden. Anybody can do that. So you can't judge a person's character in terms of righteousness because of a skill they have. That's like saying if a person know how to play basketball, they must be blessed of the Lord and holy and righteous. No, they could be of the devil and still know how to do that. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Let me break this thing down to you because maybe you don't know. Talent is given to all of us from the Most High, whether you're evil or good. Whether you're evil or good, you still have talent. Did you get that? Whether you're evil or good, your talent is a part of you. The Most High cannot take that from you. It's a part of you. It's a part of your DNA. It's your makeup. It's who you are. You can't judge somebody based on their talent or their skills or their accomplishments in terms of things they are able to produce, create. That is not the fruit the Bible speaks of the tree is known by his fruit. No. It's talking about fruits of righteousness. Do you understand? The Bible says, let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey the lust thereof. P.Diddy Dowell didn't do that. He obeyed the lust and slept with another man's wife and took her as a wife and sold the father's daughter to another man for $100,000. That's what he did. So you be the judge. Is that the community you want to raise your family at? I don't think so. All of you folks that are in the YouTube Shorts algorithm on the Ringo TV Raw channel, because I understand you're probably tuning in, you just swiped and was like, who is this guy? What is he talking about? Well, if you listen to the entire stream, you would know, but I understand it's the YouTube Shorts feed, which mean you're not going to really pay attention that long because you mainly are into short form content. But being that YouTube have this feature where we can stream vertically in the YouTube Shorts algorithm, that's why I'm utilizing that to my advantage. That's why I'm streaming simultaneously on 2 channels, so I can reach 2 algorithms of an audience. Because maybe you might swipe on your phone and see me, and you might want to subscribe. You might say, hey, this seems interesting. Let me see what this guy have to say. And you may end up learning more about me and my type of content. You might enjoy it. All right? So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the choice is yours. You can either know the truth, take heed to the truth, or continue to be deceived by this wolf in sheep's clothing. P.Diddy Dowell. We have a lot more content coming up about him. We're going to switch gears a little bit, get into other content, because there's a lot of things happening in the world that I got to cover. I got a lot of responsibilities that I'm dealing with right now, a lot of different things that I'm taking care of simultaneously. So we're going to be covering different topics. And we have a lot of strong content in the future coming up. A lot of creative stuff. So appreciate everybody stopping by. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to go 9 hours on this one, right? We're at the 3-hour mark. We're going to keep it right there, right? So, hey, it is what it is. Appreciate everybody coming through. Ringo TV Reactions. All right? I'm going to sign out the Ringo TV Raw channel. Appreciate everybody stopping by on the Raw channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like the content. If you appreciate this work, hey, give the video a thumbs up. You can do so by going on your phone. On the right top side of your phone, there's 3 dots. You click on that, and you would be able to find the like button in the menu that you see on the screen. right? It's very important that you click that like button. So y'all have a blessed day. Come on over to the Ringo TV Reactions channel, because once I sign off from here, I'm going to still be over there to give my final thoughts, my final words. But I appreciate everybody stopping by. Without you, I won't be able to do this. By you guys showing up at this hour, you know, it motivates me, you know what I'm saying, to you know, provide you quality content for you, you know, to learn and understand the demon behind P. Diddy Dowell, so that you don't get caught up in the mix. Because a lot of you may still be entangled with these type of charlatans, these type of snakes. You know, he's just like the TD Snakes. He's just like the Creflo Dollars, the Benny Sins. He's just like all of those guys, all of those charlatans that are out there, you know, taking all your money. The Kenneth Copelands, you know what I mean? He's just like them. Same thing. You know what I mean? Again, P. Diddy Dowell's mentor and pastor is R.G. Stair, the late R.G. Stair, who was a very evil, wicked man. How come P. Diddy Dowell didn't see his fruits? Hello? He didn't know? Anyway, appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to everybody in the live chat on the Ringo TV Raw channel. Salute to all of y'all for stopping by. All right? You know what I mean? Got the Tactical Shooter. Salute to you, Tactical Shooter. Indigo, Amanda. Let me see. Got somebody named Demon. Mad Better Than You. Let's see who else we got. Maria. All right, we got Maria. We got Maya. We got Jay. And probably somebody else. I don't know. But I'm not going to shout at everybody. I'll be here all night. You know what I mean? Anyway, salute to all of y'all for coming through. Have a blessed day wherever you are. If you're on the late night shift, you know what I mean? Maybe you're still at work. Maybe you're doing a graveyard shift. You know, it is what it is. Hey, you know, be safe out there. You know, drive safe if you're a trucker. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the truckers in the building. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the truckers. Make sure y'all drive safe, man. Keep your eyes on the road. You know what I mean? It is what it is, especially at night. So, hey, we're going to get up on out of here on the Ringo TV Raw channel. Come on over to the Reactions channel so I can pretty much give my final thoughts. Y'all have a blessed one. You know what I mean? Be safe out there. And, hey, it is what it is. Leave a comment on the video. If you like the video, leave a comment in the comment section. Because, you know, a lot of times people, they be in the comment section during the live, and then when the live end, nobody comment. You know what I mean? But, Eddie, hey, it is what it is. Y'all take care. I'm going to sign off on the Ringo TV Raw channel right now. So, again, come on over to the Reactions channel. So, peace and blessings to all of you over there, right? Okay. All right. Let me see. Somebody on the Raw channel said something about, can I speak on the hypocrisy of anti-Semitism versus black hate in later videos? Those type of topics I don't even waste my time with, to be honest with you, just in case the Tactical Shooter is still listening. Those type of topics I stay away from. Those are dangerous topics. The reason why it's dangerous topics is because social media is controlled, and there are certain freedoms that you don't have in terms of speaking on certain topics, because the game is rigged. Anybody that understands social media, you know the rules. There is no such thing as freedom of speech. There's certain speech you talk about, certain topics you go into, you won't be on social media anymore. Do you understand? The best thing you can do is read the Bible. The best thing you can do is have common sense and understand why. I mean, if you think about the question, you answered the question. I think you know the answer already. It's not for me to speak on. You're a man, you're an adult, you speak on it. And I say that respectfully because a lot of times people want me to do the dirty work when they have a voice. I mean, if something interests you, you speak on it. Make a channel, make a video, you speak on it. Once you learn for yourself, then you'll learn why I don't waste my time. Because those topics never profit nothing. And the reason why those topics profit nothing is because the first thing that concerns me is that my own people don't even like me. My own people don't even like me. So I don't really care. My own people don't like me. My own people plot against me. All of the crimes and the atrocities and things that is being done in the black community is being done by my own people towards themselves. So I have no business speaking about anybody else when my own people is out of order. You get what I'm saying? So certain topics is just really irrelevant and a waste of time because the people have to look within themselves and wonder why they are the way they are. All of the hate that I get come from my people. The plotting, the lies, the slander comes from my own people. And I understand that. So there's no comparison when all I get is hate from my own people. So that being said, it is what it is. Shout out to Block Trade for the support. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. Most of you folks out there, y'all know most of the hate you get, most of the people that are jealous of you is your own people. It's sick. You know what I mean? I don't like it, but it is what it is. All right? Let me see. All right, so we're going to get up on out of here. Again, appreciate everybody on the Ringo TV Reactions channel, you know, pulling up, you know what I mean? Supporting the show. Let's get the likes to 1,000. If you can, click the like button to get the video into the algorithm. Something about these videos, when you have 1,000 likes, YouTube pushes these videos in the algorithm. You know what I mean? When your likes are low compared to other YouTubers, their videos get pushed before yours. So it's very important to hit that like button. That's like the main thing, the key thing. Hit that like button, man, to get these videos out there. Some of y'all be like, yo, your videos should have 1 million views. Well, how could it if you're not hitting the like button? You know, it's up to you, the people. If you like my work, share the work. Share the link. You know, put the link on Facebook. Put the link here. Share it with your friends on your job. Tell them about the channel. You know what I mean? So that they can hear about this type of stuff. All right? So I'm going to get up on out of here. Again, peace and blessing to everybody. Anybody that's, you know, at work right now, that's kind of just chilling. You know what I mean? Be safe out there. If you're driving, you're a trucker, drive safe. If you're just, you know, a person on the go, maybe you're traveling on the road, be safe out there. Don't speed. Don't cut nobody off. No road rage, all that nonsense. You know, just stay on point, man, and just enjoy life. Be thankful to the Most High. Yeah, man, just be thankful, man. Be thankful that you're here, you're alive, and focus on your purpose. Be about your business. Try to avoid stress. Enjoy your life. You know, don't get caught up in these cults, these false pastors that are deceiving people every day. Look, people, you don't need no pastor. You don't need a pastor in today's day. Just read your Bible and just do what it says to do. You don't need a man ruling over you, controlling you, putting fear in you, manipulating you, and of course, taking your wife. You don't need that, fam. So, hey, y'all stay safe out there, man. It's Ringo TV Reactions, putting in work once again. You already done know what it is, man. You already done know what it is. That's right. So y'all take care. Ringo TV Reactions. The #1 reactionary channel on YouTube, bringing you the truth, 100% raw. Make sure you subscribe to the Ringo TV Raw channel, Ringo TV Reactions channel. Click those like buttons. Click those likes up, fam. Let's go. We in the building. Ringo TV. the #1 reactionary channel on YouTube, putting in work since 2006. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV. We out of here. Y'all take care. Peace. We out.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.